an interactive show, so you can always send us your thoughts. WhatsApp line 053996 This is your home for everything European football. And this is the place to join us every Saturday and Sunday, where we bring you all the updates from the major European leagues, and then mixed with all the analysis, taking you closer to how your teams are faring. It's an exciting Saturday, a hot Saturday afternoon, of course. But next season, Frank Super Lampard, and his Coventry boys will be playing in the Premier League after 25 years. The last time Coventry were in the Premier League was in 2001. And you should see the fan in 2001 holding a placard. That fan is still alive, witnessing greatness. To see Coventry back into the Premier League next season. But Frank Lampard should be a super excited man, because he's the man behind all that magic, all that wonderful work done by Coventry City. Of course, we get another Ghanaian in the Premier League, but I saw your Jamie test tweets about Albert Aduma. He's part of always the team that gets qualified to the PL. Some way, somehow, he decides to go back to the championship. We are hoping that Brandon Thomas Asante does not suffer that same fate. He stays with Frank Super Lampard. Because I think that if I want to be biased and tie it to what the Black Stars will be doing at the World Cup, we need our players to be playing at a certain level. That's good, that's healthy. For Brandon Thomas Asante, we'll get into that conversation pretty soon. Then there's a big game later tonight. Chelsea taking on Manchester United at 7 p.m. And later tomorrow, Arsenal, Man City. So this weekend promises to be very, very good. Yeah, I'm Gabi Affair here with Manuel Angelo Kwache, Yao J. Minta. And then Kobe Obin. You guys for today's conversation. Technical support from Daniel Squashy. And then you out there, you can always join us 053996 053996 Just like we do every weekend at the tail end of the show, phone line is activated, and then you can call us. I hear from you as well. Let me just quickly run you through the games coming up later today, and then we'll get talking. Let's start off from the English Premier League. Okay, we start off from France first. At 3 p.m. there's Lorient taking on Olympique Marseille. 5 p.m. there's Angers up against Le Havre. And then at 5 p.m. OGC Nice will take on Lille. When you head to Germany, Bayer Leverkusen are taking on Augsburg as 1-0 as we speak. 42 minutes played in that game. Hoffenheim just scored against Borussia Dortmund. Then Union Berlin are up against Wolfsburg. Two Ghanaians playing for those two teams. Derek Arthur-Kohn and Jonas Ajete. They are on the bench for the two teams though. Werder Bremen is up against Hamburger SV. There's Frankfurt up against RB Leipzig later 4:30. Then in the Italian Serie A, Udinese will take on Parma 53 minutes. It's ongoing actually. And then at 4 p.m. Napoli up against Lazio. AS Roma take on Atalanta at 6:45 p.m. in the Italian Serie A. When you go to Spain, there's some really good games coming up later today for you as well. Running through those games, Max expected. Okay, so there's a Copa del Rey final today. It's Atletico Madrid taking on Real Sociedad in the Copa del Rey. But I just want to ask, the Barcelona fans, have they recovered from the Champions League shenanigans? And the EPL, Brentford, earlier on they played a goalless draw with Fulham. Leeds United are taking on Wolves, 30 minutes played. Newcastle up against Bournemouth, also 30 minutes played. And then at 4:30, the Spurs up against Brighton. And then later, 7 p.m., Chelsea take on Manchester United. For those who are keeping tabs on the Championship, Derby County, they beat Oxford United earlier today. Millwall 2, QPR 0. Leicester City, hey! Charlie, what's going on at the club? Yeah, they lost again to Portsmouth by 1-0. Bristol City are taking on Norwich is 1 in favor of Bristol City. That's Antoine Semenyo's former team. Hull City and Birmingham is goalless between the two. Preston North End are taking on West Bromwich Albion. Sheffield Wednesday up against Charlton Athletic. Swansea are taking on Southampton. Watford, Sheffield United, and then Wrexham up against Stoke City. So that's the games for you in the Championship. We'll come back and I think we should start from the Championship because I just want us to start off with two different topics. One is good, one is bad. Coventry on the good side, Leicester City on the bad side. Coventry are back in the EPL after 25 years. They had to wait for 25 years, and Frank Lampard came in and he's brought them back to the EPL. On the bad side, Leicester City, I think they'll be heading to the League One because they just lost against Portsmouth. That team has got Jordan Ayew and Abdul Fattah Isaku. Jordan actually was on the bench today. Yeah, but let me come to you, my guys. Kobe Obeng, Yao Ejementa, and also Manuel Angelo Kwachi. Guys, good afternoon. It's good to have you again and good to see you.
Same here.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
I want us to start off with what should we start off with? Good or bad first?
Bad first.
The bad news first, eh?
Yeah, bad first.
Okay.
Bad first.
Dennis, let's see where Leicester is lying on the table, and then we can. But the news is that they lost to Portsmouth, and it's also worth that I say that they've been docked some points. So as we speak, Leicester City are 23rd. Amongst the other two teams in Oxford United and Sheffield United, Leicester have not won their last 6 games. In fact, ever since they docked them points, they've struggled to pick up point and help themselves. At least if they won today, they would have been 45 or 44, 22nd, and then try and get some good games, some good results in the rest of the games. But they lost. Let me start off with you, Kwache. I don't know where you want to start from the Ghanaian perspective, and how this looks on Jordan and Fattah Isaku. We have our two key players that I think that will be part of the final squad for the Black Stars when Carlos Queiroz names his squad. At the time, you would have 2 players who play in the League One.
Yeah, I mean that isn't necessarily something that's good for them if they want to continue to maintain their place in the national team. But if that was to happen, if they were to go down to League One, I think both Fattah Isaku and Jordan Ayew, even at his age, will be able to find different clubs that would be able to suit them. And Leicester themselves, if they have to go down to League One, they will be looking to offload players and make some money back. So I don't think, even though it would be another relegation on his CV, and I think Jordan already has 4 relegations from the Premier League, I don't think he'd want to add another one. But I don't think it would necessarily affect the rest of his career, because I think they are good enough to find other teams to get them. Looking at Leicester themselves, it's just really troubling. And if you look at the run of games that they had, they played some of the teams that were closing in and around them.
Yeah.
And there was a point where they were just 2 or 3 points away from safety. But if you look at it now, it's about 8 points. They're on 41 points, and the team they're about 8 points, 8 points clear of the relegation zone to the next seed. And so now that you're looking at it, it makes very hard to see where they're going to be able to find wins from. Because like I said, they haven't won any of their last 6 either. There's no team that has a lot of confidence, and this is surprising because when they started the season under Cifuentes, they were playing quite well, and I think that's when Fattah himself was getting
some wonderful
goals under him. So to see how the season has just how to call it, spin on his head.
Do you think the point deduction somehow has played that toll on the minds of these players?
I mean, it has before, but like if you look back at the Premier League, you remember when Nottingham Forest were docked points. with dog points in the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa too, or one of the other teams. There have been instances where it has happened in the league, but it doesn't necessarily have to affect your momentum. I think the other example was when Sean Dyche was at Everton. They were deducted points, but he still found a way to rally the team to win. And we're even avoiding the point where Leicester are not, the players of Leicester's quality are not championship level. Does that make sense? Obviously, they're struggling in the championship now, but these are players that were playing in the Premier League last season. So it's just a case of them underperforming or not being able to produce what they're able to. Because I don't think the squad is bad enough to be 23rd in the championship.
Yo, I don't know where you want to pick it up from. Maybe I'm sure you've been doing some digging. I'm sure that the key figures at Leicester City will be looking at the club's current situation, and they'll be asking themselves a lot of questions. How did we get here?
How did they get to this point?
Because clearly there were some administrative issues that led to they've been docked points, but the football itself.
Yeah, I think the football itself could have salvaged the situation, because we've seen Everton suffer a similar fate, and they still managed to dig themselves out of that similar or same hole. And so, the most important thing I always say is the football. Yes, you can do all the marketing in the world, focus on it, just as Man United did, and they lost track of what was the most important thing, which was and still is what happens on the pitch. Because what happens on the pitch is what will bring that attention, that awareness. What happens on the pitch is what will lead that attention into marketing. And if you don't have a solid product, what can you market out there to bring in the sponsorship and the extra money off the field?
Yeah.
And so that, unfortunately, is where Leicester City look to. I think they seem to have lost the plot a little bit in terms of the players that they brought in didn't necessarily cut it, and I don't think they did right by letting Brendan Rodgers go, though they were on a little bit of a slide.
Okay.
I don't think it was the right decision, and ever since they made that decision, or they took that decision, they haven't been the same, and they haven't been able to really get back up and compete the way they should. And unfortunately, it's just a cascading effect of wrong decisions in player profiling, purchases, even the coaches that they brought in. I don't think they were really the type of coaches that they usually go in for. I mean, you had Claudio Ranieri at some point. You had Brendan Rodgers at some point, a guy who had coached at Liverpool, and you brought in Cifuentes. Profile-wise, I think, in terms of what he does, he's cool and all, but he wants to play out from the back, typical Spanish manager who is young. He wants to go down that path. But you look at the Leicester back line, and you ask yourself, are they really comfortable doing that? You look at even the goalkeepers, so many howlers over this period, and it just wasn't a great fit. It just wasn't a great fit. That's why I mentioned that the personnel choices were off, and it goes down to the executives, those who are making those calls or calling those shots. You need to figure out what you are as a team, the philosophy you want to have. Go get a coach who fits that philosophy, and then bring in players who also can translate that philosophy into reality. But unfortunately, they had those things down, but the players not necessarily. Because individually they are quite good. Stephy Mavididi is definitely a Premier League type of player, or winger. You look
Once upon a time was on the radar of some clubs.
Quite a number of EPL clubs. The likes of Everton, those clubs in the lower side of
even the Enzo Maresca was looking at him. Enzo Maresca was looking at him at a point.
I mean, you had Enzo Maresca. But once he left, the replacement I don't think was the
Was
best.
the best, okay.
I mean, because I think that's a really important point. Because when they had Maresca, it looked like the system would work, and the team that would get back to the championship was
Yeah.
playing really good football.
Yeah.
And then they had to immediately lose him because Chelsea came in for him. They had to adjust, and I think that's when they tried to go for Steve Cooper. That didn't work. They had Gary Rowett in there. They even had Ruud van Nistelrooy, if you remember.
Yeah.
After he
Yeah.
beat Man United
So the
twice, and
managerial changes
they just
too.
gave him the job.
Yeah, so
So-
the changes were. I mean, and because think about it. If you move from Enzo Maresca, you go to Steve Cooper, you go to Van Nistelrooy.
That's a downhill.
No.
In terms
Okay, in
of
terms of name, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make that argument. But I'm not even looking at the names. The philosophy,
okay.
totally different.
Yeah.
The philosophy, totally different. And I think that's where they missed the mark. Because, like I said, the players individually, they are good enough to avoid getting drawn into League
those
One.
situations, yeah.
Even if they can't make it to the Premier League, at least they can still stay in the Championship and battle for a place in the EPL next year or next season.
Mm-hmm.
But to be on the brink of getting relegated to League One, I think that's a sad situation, because the players that they have individually, they are good. Stephen Mabididi is good. Abdul Fattah Shahaku is good.
I just want to run you through the players who started today. Patson Daka up front. Mavididi is playing on the left. There is Dikodova the player,
Solid player.
playing as a 10 today. Fatah Isaku is playing on the right. Chowdhury, you remember this chap?
Yeah, Hamza Chowdhury.
Winks. I think he's been one of the longest
serving
players.
players.
Harry Winks,
Yeah.
former Spurs.
Yeah.
Yes, Harry Winks is
Hey.
there. Oliver Skip is also there. Former Spurs
Yeah.
midfielder Oliver Skip.
Left back Thomas Vestergaard. This guy was once also on the radar of
Vestergaard.
I think he used to play for Southampton. Yeah, it was at Southampton.
Error prone Vestergaard.
Jamal Lascelles. It's not the
Yeah,
former
Jamal
Newcastle.
Lascelles,
player.
Newcastle, yes.
Injury prone.
And then Pereira. I think Pereira too is one of the longest serving
Yeah.
players.
Yes.
In fact, I think Pereira was even part of the
He was part of the crew that were competed in the Premier
In
League.
the
The
Premier
last
League,
time
yeah.
they were in the
He
Premier
was
League.
part of the FA Cup winning team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
and then Begovic, former Chelsea,
Asmir
Bournemouth,
Begovic, yeah. Stoke City as well.
Stoke City go. How is this team playing in League One?
Exactly. So for me, I think it's down to the philosophy, because the players that they have individually, they are good. Unfortunately, the coaching hires were a little bit off. Not because they weren't good or they are not good,
Mm-hmm.
but because the philosophy just didn't match. They were
See the
completely
players on the
opposite.
bench: Joe Aribo, Nigeria, Jordan Ayew,
Hmm.
Mukasa. These are some of the English players they brought from the academy and all of that. But bro, this is not really looking good on Leicester City. Nah. And how many games left though?
I think about 4.
4 games.
Yeah.
If you look at where they occupy, they have 41 points. Because you were trying to get to run me through there. They have 41 points. In fact, Portsmouth, who they played today and lost to, were also battling relegation.
That's the point. I think those are games you can't be losing. If you're playing against the team that's directly above you, that
Yeah.
means as soon as they win, they get a higher buffer, and so now it means that
Because Portsmouth have won their last 3 games.
yeah.
So they have 51 points now.
And irony is most of the other teams around the bottom are informed. At least they are more informed than Leicester are. So it's almost like they are sinking while everyone else is now trying to get a bit of form. And they obviously it seems like they're in a state of shock. A bit like how I think Spurs will be in the Premier League as well. They probably don't expect to be in a relegation battle, and they always thought we'd win enough matches just to stay up. Now that the reality is hitting them, it becomes difficult to psych yourself for the games.
They have 3 games though. The next game is against Hull City, and then they have Millwall, and then they take on Blackburn. The last game, Kobe. I don't know, but if you are in the shoes of these 2 Ghanaian players, Fatah and Jordan. For Jordan, I think he's not played the last few games, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
He's always on the bench. There was one game he came off from the bench and scored. But Fatah is always starting. What do you think would be running through the minds of these 2 Ghanaian players? I'm sure they'll be asking themselves a lot of questions. Is the World Cup coming? My team is getting relegated to League One. I'd have to move and all of that.
I think if the World Cup were next year, it would be a bigger issue for them in terms of making it into the squad.
Okay.
Because I think at this point we have a general idea of certain players who would definitely be in the squad, all things being equal, if they are fit. But in terms of what will happen this summer, especially over the course of the transfer window, the first question they'll be asking is, how soon can I get out of this situation? Because someone like Jordan Ayew, by the end of the year, he'll be 35. You'll be thinking, I don't want to end my career like this. I don't want to get to the point where this is all I'm known for, getting relegated at club level, because this isn't just something he's done at English clubs. He's also gotten relegated twice in France, at Lorient, at Sochaux, all of that. So, at a point in time, you'll be thinking, even if I don't get into like a Premier League team, maybe he would want to go to Saudi Arabia, or maybe even the MLS.
The Swansea team that got relegated?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
He wasn't.
Jordan, you didn't. You never played for Swansea.
Oh no, it was his brother.
It was
Yeah,
Dede,
it was
okay.
Dede. He's gotten relegated with Aston Villa,
Yeah.
2016. Got relegated with Leicester this time. Then relegated in between that with Lorient and Sochaux.
Yeah, he's also been relegated with Aston. You said Aston Villa,
Yeah,
and I think that was under Martin O'Neill's last season
yeah,
at Aston Villa.
Mhm.
So he has a.
yeah. So he has. This
He
is.
did play with Swansea.
He did
No,
play.
no.
With, he did play Swansea.
Yeah, he
Relegated-
played
he
Swansea,
played-
yeah.
he played with Jordan at Swansea.
Yeah, I
okay.
remember we
Okay.
played with Dede at Swansea. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was relegated in the season. I think that was Paul Lambert was at came in at Swansea. He was relegated with that team as well.
Yeah. So this would be like number 5.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
6.
this would be his 5th relegation.
Yeah.
Because I remember he played as
Yeah, because I
Swansea
think
the time they
we've,
got
we've
relegated.
had that
yeah.
conversation too
Mhm.
before.
So
But that was really swift to
Mhm.
have played with his brother.
yeah,
And he's
So what? So Andrew left before
Yeah, he left. He joined West Ham.
yeah,
before Jordan and that team go before.
Before they got
got
relegated.
relegated.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
So I
boy.
mean, for him, he would be looking, to get back, even to a top team in a smaller country, so that at least he can be competing for
Coventry
league
should go
titles.
for him.
Oh, I mean, a team building building up.
No, but I'm sure some of the. I mean, guys, Yao and Kwachi. If you look at some of the teams, let's say the middle table teams, or even some of the teams who escaped,
Mhm.
they dropped this season.
Yeah.
Don't you think that some of the teams will be looking at
Who? Jordan?
he and Fatal?
No, for
For
Fatal,
Fatal,
yes.
yes.
For
But
Fatal,
then
yes. But for
Jordan,
Jordan,
no.
I
Someone
mean,
who's
Jordan.
on his way
I
down.
mean, I'll be surprised if Jordan goes to, let's say, the Dutch league, like his
To go play,
brother.
Mhm.
To go play in the Dutch league or maybe the French league for one of those lower tier teams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, not lower tier as in the division,
Like
but
mid-table.
the small clubs,
The small clubs,
mid-table
yeah.
to low level table.
Yeah.
I mean,
clubs,
he could go to America and not come back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
just-
also an idea.
And sign
Yeah,
one
sign
one of the
nice
clubs over
MLS
there.
club.
Yeah, yeah,
Just-
yeah.
that
That
would
would
be
not
very
bad
good
too.
football.
You could go and play with Messi. That would be
But
wonderful.
knowing the Ayew brothers and their thirst of playing at a certain level, I'm sure Jordan will be looking at those offers and be asking himself.
Oh, no, but you're 35 now.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm saying. Knowing Ayew, look at what Andre is doing
yeah.
with Nak brothers. He
Mhm.
clearly doesn't want to give up
Yeah.
with playing at a certain level.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you notice with these players is the higher the level you want to retire, the more you suffer when you are going to retire.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean. So that's why someone like Cruz, when he was going to retire, he chose at a time where physically his body was still fit and he could leave at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Modric tried to continue playing on and he wasn't offered a new contract, so that's why he had to go to
Milan.
AC Milan. Obviously, he's a Ballon d'Or winner. He's Luka Modric. You definitely get AC Milan. Not everyone has the same pedigree as him. So it makes it hard to call. They can't necessarily always force a move for themselves when they are no longer in their prime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, just a quick update. Bournemouth have scored against Newcastle United, and Donny Raiola leaving on the right note. So it's Bournemouth 1, Newcastle United 0. Elsewhere, Leeds United, who are taking on Wolves, 2 quick fire goals. So Justin and Noah Okafor giving Leeds United a 2-0 lead against Wolves, who are Gunners, already relegated. But look at that Bournemouth again, starting from our player Ryan,
Yeah.
very unpredictable with the feet.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you have to really look out for their scouting, the guys in their scouting department.
Yeah,
because
you should
they are
listen
really
to
good.
you should listen to Semenyo, his latest interview.
Yeah, they're all out football.
Yeah, the
podcast.
lady
Yeah.
asked the same discussion we're about to have about Bournemouth scouting system,
Mhm.
and Semenyo, I mean, spoke very highly of them, what they do. To
Because-
be able to find those talent.
Yeah, those
Look at Ryan.
talent.
He just moves like Semenyo.
Yeah,
He
Ryan.
really can't predict what he
Ryan, Krupi, and their fullback. They got him from AC Milan.
They lost the entire
Alex,
back.
Alex Jimenez. I
Yeah.
just tweeted about him. He's also one to look out for. I've seen him play ever since he joined AFC Bournemouth
Mm-hmm.
from AC Milan, and yeah, he's really good. I want to see another season from him, and then a different coach with Andoni Raiola leaving, because you know how different coaches come in and the way sometimes they affect players. Not all players can adapt to the changes. So I would love to see how he fares under a different coach. It looks like at this point, Marco Rose, he's likely to come in. So I would love to see how Alex Jimenez performs under him next season. And if he's still consistent and even gets better, then he's another to look out for in terms of getting scooped by one of the bigger clubs with more money. But like, again, I look at AFC Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in their scouting department are doing a very good job. For them to be able to lose the players that they lost, it's not just the numbers, but the importance of their role
to the team, and the timing of which they lost them,
and to be able to bring in players and be able to more or less replicate that kind of production. It speaks volumes of the quality of the coaching and the quality of their scouting department. And they are a very good side. And for me, I've said, it will cost Manchester United quite a fortune
to get him,
to get Unai Emery, from Aston Villa. But if they don't want to go down that path, considering they had to pay compensation they had to pay compensation to bring in Ruben Amorim, and now they are paying him compensation, and they don't want to go down that path again, then they can go in for Andoni Raiola, because I don't see Xabi Alonso going to Manchester United. I think
clearly on Liverpool's radar.
I think he'll go to Liverpool. So I don't see him going to Manchester United. So if those two guys aren't available, Andoni Raiola is the guy, because he is very good. He is very, very good.
Okay. 0539986 996 0539986 that's the WhatsApp line. We're also live on the City Sports Ghana. Please go there, go leave your thoughts, watch us, give us a follow, leave your thoughts also with us. And then we're also live on Channel 1 TV. So if you're watching us at home, you can send in your thoughts on the WhatsApp line 0539 96 996. Even if you don't have anything to say, just let us know that you're watching us. We'll give you a shout. I'm here with Jamin Takobi Oben and Manuel Angelo Kwache. Guys, let's get to the good part of the conversation. Coventry City back to the PL. Had to work for 25 years. Kobe, let me start off with you. Frank Lampard, another Ghanaian coming into the EPL. What are your thoughts, and what do you feel about what Lampard has done?
The first thing I want to say is kudos to him. But there's a big lesson that we all need to learn from this.
A big lesson?
Yes. And the lesson is that, especially when it comes to former footballers, when you are young, you've recently retired, you've gotten your coaching licenses, all your badges in order, and then you start maybe in the youth teams and so on and so forth, and now you are stepping into that arena of coaching the professional teams. There's a temptation to rush to get the big jobs first.
That thirst to always go for the big jobs.
Yes. And once you fall into that trap, they generally tend to get exposed. Yes. Because even looking at someone like Xabi Alonso, from his time at Leverkusen, the unbeaten season, after that, taking that big jump, and it is a big jump from Leverkusen to Real Madrid, as well as Leverkusen have been over the past couple of years. It's a huge jump from Bayer Leverkusen to Real Madrid. He took that jump and he's paid for it. Even though, yes, his reputation is more or less still intact and I mean, he will still get the opportunities at big clubs again. You can see that, he's gotten some damage to his profile. Lampard, after successful spells at Derby and so on and so forth, he took that huge leap to Chelsea. I don't think his time at Chelsea was so poor. I think it was all right. But I think that as a young coach, you shouldn't rush to take the big jobs. Just go for the smaller teams and build from there. Build your CV. And the thing is that you are not just building your profile for the world. You are also building your understanding of what you want from a team. You are building your personal philosophy. You are building your ideas of what should go into a team that plays for you. And I think Lampard and most young coaches at that stage have not properly built or constructed that idea of an ideal team for them. And so when they move to big clubs without a fully formed philosophy, they get exposed. So I think Lampard has taken his time, cut his losses, after the spells at Chelsea that, were not very memorable. He's gone down to the lower leagues. He's gone to Coventry. He's built them up over time. He's worked man management, communicating with certain people like Brandon Thomas Asante, Haji Wright. He's gotten them firing. He's gotten them playing the style of football that he wants them to play. And now it's confirmed that they are going to play in the Premier League next season. So I'm excited to see his philosophy in the Premier League. And one of the things I hope for is that he doesn't, fall prey to that idea that he can play the same way he played in the Championship in the Premier League.
With the same crop of talent he's got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you are coming in with the same players, the
You go
ideas
back.
need to change.
Yeah.
Yes. But if the ideas don't change, the personnel must change.
But do you think his prior experience with Chelsea, so he had two different things with Chelsea.
Yes.
There was one when he came in, Chelsea were dealing with a ban.
Yes.
He had
And
to
he did
work
so
with,
well.
Yeah,
He
he did
brought
so
in the
well.
likes of
Yeah,
Mason
Mount,
Tammy Abraham,
Good
Rhys
James.
James.
He
Yes.
did so
settled
well.
with that squad.
Yes.
Managed to finish fourth.
I mean, he did well, but he lost a couple of finals.
He lost a couple of
Yeah,
finals.
he
Yeah,
qualified
the
them to the
Champions
League. That
League.
was,
Yes.
that was the most important
The most
thing.
important. In fact, the
Yeah.
Chelsea top hierarchy at the time, per what I read, was super excited with what he
Yeah,
had
because
done.
there was the ban, he had to work with kids,
Yeah.
and he did so well by qualifying
Introduced
them to the
Rhys
Champions
James,
League.
brought him
Yeah.
back from Wigan Athletic.
Yeah.
Gave him
The
that
Mason
right back
Mount
slot.
squad. Yeah, that
Then the
was,
second stint, it didn't work out too well. I
yeah.
think he
because
came in
expectations came.
good.
Exactly.
The
So he had to,
expectations
yeah.
were there.
And even with that one, if you look at the time, because I think he came in on the back of a sack.
He came in to
Somebody had
replace Thomas
Tuchel, yeah.
And
Do you-
so I think he came in to replace Graham Potter because Potter was brought in.
Yeah, it was
to,
Potter rather great.
to replace
Great.
Tuchel. Then when Potter was sacked, we went for Lampard till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two different experiences for him under his belt.
Yeah.
Do you think that would help him get to know the Premier League well, get to know that look, talk to the Coventry boys and say, you can't go there and be playing a certain way. We'll get ripped out and go back to the Championship.
I think it would definitely be helpful, but then I don't think it will be that helpful, because being a coach in the Premier League and then being a coach in the Championship are two different things. And this is a unique experience because he's supposed to transition this team from being the best in the Championship to being, quote unquote, by default, the worst in the Premier League.
Okay.
Because you've just come back. You've just come from the Championship. So you must assume that you are the worst. And honestly, looking at the trend for the past 3 or 4 seasons, the teams that come from the Championship immediately go back.
You go, yeah.
Yes. So his plan should be, how do I keep these guys in the league? How do I make sure that we come to stay? Because there are teams who came from the Championship and have been able to stay. We're watching Bournemouth right now. Came from the Championship and have been a solid part of the season. We know that every season, whatever happens with Bournemouth, whether they make it to
You're
Europe
now one
or
of the
not,
boogie sides.
yes, we know that they will play in the Premier League the following season. We know that they will get some results against the big teams, against Arsenal, against United, against City at times. We know how good they are. So his ideas should be towards keeping them in the league. And I think him having been a Premier League manager, at least you'll be able to tell the difference
Yeah.
between a Premier League side and a Championship side.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to transition Coventry from a Championship side to a Premier League side.
But on a real, he's got a really good blend of the Championship, the PL, and then the Championship, because Derby County, two
Yeah.
different things with Chelsea. I think he
Everton?
did Everton.
Yes,
Yeah, he did
Everton as well.
Yeah.
That didn't go as well.
And
he
he's
saved them
done
from relegation. They had a-
Coventry. He said them for relegation.
yeah, I don't know exactly again, but there was
Yeah,
a
so
game
he
that
would
he used-
understand how to deal with this Coventry City
Yeah,
side.
and I think the point that we're making was a good, like, if you look at his previous experience, so when he had the Coventry, the Derby County job,
Yeah.
he got them to the final of the championship, the
Mhm.
championship playoff final.
Yeah.
But they lost to
Yeah.
Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds, so
Yeah.
that's when Leeds came to the Premier League, and immediately the next season, that's when he went into the Chelsea job. So he had that transition from the Championship to the Premier League, but he just wasn't working with the same set of players.
Mm-hmm.
He was working with a better set of players. Even though Chelsea had a transfer ban, you can still argue that the squad they had at the time was was still a good team. And that's where you mentioned he was also able to use a loan system, and he worked with Mason Mount at Derby,
Derby County, yeah.
too. So he was able to bring him and put him into the team, what was soon to be like a Champions League winning team under Thomas Tuchel. But he started laying the foundations for that. The difference now is, like he said, now you're going with Coventry, and it's whether they're also going to now decide whether they want to. There are two routes to use when you come up as part of the Championship team.
Mm-hmm.
Either you want to spend money and try and get better quality players so that they can help you get better, and I would call that maybe the Sunderland way, or you just try and conserve all the money you can and then hope that your players are good enough. And if they are not, when you go back to the Championship, you're able to build on that and get more wealth, and then that means that when you get back to the Championship, you're clearly one of the better teams, and then getting back to the Premier League becomes much easier for you. It depends on what system they use. But I think some of the players that they have are on loan there. If I'm right, Haji Wright is he a Man City player or a Southampton player? But Haji Wright is from another team on loan at Coventry, and that's another problem that they have. Most of the players who come in are from Premier League teams, so they have to now either make the deal permanent or have to find different players in the market a replacement for them. And if every team now knows that you're going to the Premier League, you're going to get about 100 million players, that's when they start quoting 20, 30, 40 million for their players. I think the best model is probably something like Sunderland were able to do this season.
Yeah.
So someone like Enzo Lefe, he was there from January last season, but they only made his deal permanent in the summer. So they were able to mix that blend with players who were already there, even though they are new signings, they were already used to the team. So that means that transitioning to the Premier League isn't harder. So if they're able to invest well and maybe back Frank Lampard with maybe 150 million, get some players to add to his team, I think they can be competitive in the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from a Ghanaian perspective, and I'm tying it with the Leicester City issue. I've already said what I honestly believe is likely to happen when it comes to Jordan Ayew. I believe he should go to either the Dutch League or maybe a team in, let's say, France.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But when it comes to Fatawu Ishahaku, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a club like Coventry City end up going in for him,
I see.
because they compete with him on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Or, like they see him competing on a weekly basis and sometimes midweek basis, and they are well aware of his qualities. And so if there's any club that would have a proper scouting look at him, it will be Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now that they've been confirmed that they are going to
Yeah.
play in the EPL, if there's any EPL team that will have a proper
They'll look at-
scouting team,
yeah, they'll
like
look at
scouting
Fatal.
profile on Fatal, it will be Coventry City. And so I honestly wouldn't be surprised they go in for him, or maybe Everton, considering Everton are still paying off their debt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they will always want to go in for players who are quality but do not cost a fortune.
Okay.
So, yeah, you have Iliman Ndiaye on one side. If you have Fatawu Ishahaku on the other side, that's great, because Jack Grealish, yeah, he will be coming off an injury, a serious injury, that is. And so, yeah, do you want to rush him back immediately after the World Cup and the season starts?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want him to start competing right away, or do you want to warm him into the team as the season progresses,
Mm-hmm.
and more or less have a pretty deep squad when it comes to the wing areas.
Yeah.
Because all of them can play on either side of the wings, and there's also Dwight McNeil.
Mm-hmm.
So you have options in that role or in those positions. So throwing or bringing in a guy like Abdul Fattah Shahaku, I think it will be cool. It will be good for Everton, because they might just end up sneaking into the Europa Conference League.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that they will be playing more games.
Yeah.
So you need depth. And you can't get any better than bringing in a guy like Abdul Fattah Shahaku to play on the wings. Yes, Leicester City would quote quite a significant amount, but because they are in a compromised position, I don't think they'll go beyond 30 million.
They'll be ready to
because
budge, yeah.
you are going to League One. You are not in a strong position to negotiate for 50 million pounds.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No.
The players have the power over the club.
Yeah, so in that sense, I don't see them selling Fattah Shahaku for over 30 million. I think the highest they will go will be maybe 25 million with 5 million in add-ons.
I see.
And that kind of money, Everton can get it, can shell it out and get a guy like him. Now to Brandon Thomas Asante and Coventry City. I wouldn't be surprised they let him go.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised they let him go.
How so?
Because he lost his place in the starting lineup after he got that injury.
I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
He's now competing with one Efron Mason Clark. Who is
Mason Clark and Haj Wright, those guys.
Jamaican.
Yeah, he's competing with those guys, and he's frequently coming off the bench. And so now that they've qualified to the English Premier League, they are likely going to reinforce their squad and bring in more or less a bit of a high profile,
more refined players than
or maybe an
I'm looking at his numbers too. He did 29 matches. He has 12 goals, 4 assists.
16. So which is 16. Way more than half.
And I'm even looking at the Jamaican who he's competing with. He has 7 goals, 5 assists.
In how many games?
He's done more games than Fatal, so 34.
And as in Brandon Thomas Asante.
Yeah. And then there is the last chap who plays on the right. That's where maybe I think if they sign Fatai Isaku, he goes. He has 0 goals.
Yeah.
8 assists, 41 matches.
So it's quite likely they will bring in Abdul Fattah Shahaku. And what that means is that Brandon Thomas Asante is likely to lose his place because, like you said, they have to reinforce the team.
Yeah.
With either high profile players or players that are more experienced competing in the English Premier League. And so if at this stage you are playing mainly as
just when we thought that
as a main member of the second unit.
Okay.
Now that they are on the verge of reinforcing their team, where would you stand? So I honestly wouldn't be surprised that
you don't
he ends up going suffering the same fate as Albert Adoma.
But you don't think Lampard likes him?
Oh, he likes him, but at the end of the day, it's business. You have to
you
survive.
Think you look beyond the and look at your job on the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Frank Lampard is also battling his own demons because the spotlight is on him. How are you going to be able to navigate this one? If he can navigate it and do well, then he can be fully accepted as a guy that, he is truly indeed a coach who belongs in the EPL. You get my point. So I wouldn't be surprised. I won't be surprised if Brandon Thomas Asante does not make the team for Coventry when it comes to the start of the 2026-2027 EPL season. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Okay, just talk on Yao's point about Fatai Shahaku and Jordan Ayew. I agree that Leicester are not necessarily in the strongest position, but that's also it's also dependent on the interest from other teams. So if they have another player, maybe let's say Patson Daka, he hasn't been that good in form, but let's say he is someone that other clubs come and value, they'd probably find a way to probably sell him and still hold on to some of their assets. A bit like how Leeds did it for Nonto last season, even though he was trying to force a move out, because they were able to get enough money from other teams, they decided to hold on to him.
Okay.
Which is one of the problems I think Leicester had when they went down. Because immediately they went down, they thought they could just rebuild the squad, and they lost some of the key components of that team. Sound like Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
They just sold them off and tried to replace them with academy players, and it hasn't really it hasn't really worked out for them. And Jordan and Fatau don't have relegation clauses in their contract. We should know that because the first time they were relegated from the Premier League with Leicester, I don't think they had any effect on their value. So if it comes to a situation where it's probably more likely for Fatau than Jordan, but if it reaches a situation where they are able to get more money from other sources, they probably try and, even though he will want to force a move out, they'll probably try and hold on to him because he's still an asset that they have, that if they need to go back to the championship, he can guarantee that for them.
Okay.
And that, if you look at the example of a team like Sunderland, who were playing in League One not too long ago, they've also done the whole championship, got relegated from the Premier League to the Championship to League One, and they managed to build their way back, and now they're in the Premier League, and I'd say they're stronger than they were when they went down. And sometimes these, not that it necessarily can be a positive, but like if you rebuild well, it's a chance to almost clean your whole restart, almost reset the whole team, and then just hire the right people in the right places, try and get your recruitment right, and within 2, 3, 4 years you could be back in the Premier League challenging again.
All right, 0539969996 0539969996. We'll be taking our first break at exactly 3 p.m. But let me read some messages on YouTube and also our WhatsApp console. On YouTube, Patrick1244G7 and says, I really love watching you guys, but I can't say that network. I just say my network always makes me miss some of your shows. He says, Shining Brother One active. Okay. Leicester City to be relegated by Tuesday. Black Stars captain and go-to player for the right winger in the World Cup, Fatau, to be playing in League 2 of English football. A captain in League 2. Okay.
The relegation looks almost confirmed. It's 8 points with 3 games to go.
Yeah,
so
I think they'll be gone.
They need to win all their games and hope the team above them loses all their games.
Exactly. Alvino from Akosombo says, hey, greeting, good evening. Is it a different... Akosombo. It's Akosombo in a different country.
Akosombo
He says good evening, and this is like it's related to what we are discussing too. He says Fatau will surely get a good EPL team, but I can't say same for our captain. Wishing Chelsea all the best. Okay, Danilo says I never knew Jordan was ever relegated in other teams apart from Leicester. He should have stayed put at Crystal Palace. Guys,
but Crystal Palace, his time had come.
The job there was done.
Yeah, he played there for like 6 seasons, 6, 7 seasons.
He stayed for a while, quite.
He stayed there for quite a while.
I think
it just came to an amicable end. He had run his course. He stayed there, ran his course. So I don't see any problem with him moving on from Crystal Palace.
All right. You can also send your thoughts 053996 996 053996 996. Let me quickly update you from the other league centers, and then I will take our first break. Later at 7 p.m. tonight, Chelsea taking on Manchester United in the English Premier League. We're live on Channel 1 TV and also YouTube, City Sports JJ on X. You can also find us there and leave your thoughts. I'm Gabriel Fahia, where you are Jamin Takobi Ben, and also Manuel Angelo Kwache. Let's take you back to Germany. 68 or 69 minutes played between Bayer Leverkusen and Augsburg. It's 1-0 between the two sides. Hoffenheim beating Borussia Dortmund by 1-0. Union Berlin 0, Wolfsburg 2, Werder Bremen 2, Hamburg SV 1. Frankfurt will take on RB Leipzig later at 4:30 p.m. in the German league. If you head to the Italian Serie A, Parma beat Udinese earlier today by 1-0. Napoli will be up against Lazio at 4 p.m. and then later at 6:45 p.m. there is AS Roma up against Atalanta in the Italian Serie A. When you jump to the EPL,
Roma and Atalanta.
It should be a good game.
If you want to watch proper football, as in football in its pure essence,
you should watch that game.
Watch that game.
Okay.
You should watch that game.
I was in the Gasperini derby.
Yeah.
Because it's also him returning to.
Yeah, that's
his
true.
former
If you
club.
want to watch proper football, yeah, you should watch that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the EPL, it's halftime between Leeds and Wolves. It's Leeds United 2, Wolves 0, Newcastle 0, Bournemouth 1. Then later, 4:30 p.m., Spurs will take on Brighton, and then at 7 p.m., there's Chelsea up against Manchester United in that game. In the Copa del Rey final, Atletico Madrid will be taking on Real Sociedad later tonight. So that's that's what's happening today. That final is at 7 p.m. 053996 053996. Let's take our very first break. When we come back, we'll get into the games from the EPL. Newcastle's game and Bournemouth. Bournemouth are chasing Conference League Europa. Yeah, so it's a huge game for them. And we'll try and talk later. We'll try and build up to the Chelsea United game, which is at 7. And just talk pretty much about it before that game later tonight. 053996 Gabby Affair here. We're taking our very first break. We're back after this. Also live on Channel One TV and also live on YouTube, City Sports Ghana, and then City FM. This is the place to listen to every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, where you get all the scores from the major European leagues. And also a huge opportunity for you to share your thoughts with us when the phone lines are activated later at the tail end of the show. But you can always send your thoughts through this number 0539969996 0539969996. I'm Gabby Affair, not just here alone. I'm here with Yahweh Jaminta, Kobe O'Bain, and Manuel Angelo Kwache. Let's get talking. Let me take you to the EPL. I'm running through the starting 11 for the 3 p.m. The 2 p.m. batch of matches that kicked off earlier on. Starting off with Leeds United, who have taken a 2-0 lead against Wolves. So Leeds started in a 3-4-2-1 formation. Caudalo has imposed a back three of Justin, Bijon, and Pascal Strike. We've got Bogle, Ethan Ampadu, Tanaka and Goodmonson as the midfield four. Aronson, Noah Okafor, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin leading the attack for Leeds United. When you got to Wolves, they have a 3-4-2-1 formation as well. Bentley, a back three of Krejci, Gomez, and Bueno. Midfield four of Bueno again, Gomez, Andre, and Chachua. For the front three, they have Belagad, Armstrong, and Gomez. So they have three Gomez. And they are Angel Gomez, one who is an attacker. And he means 6. Yeah, and they have João Gomez, who is a DM, Brazilian. And then the last Gomez, Totti Gomez, who is Portuguese. Oh, my goodness.
They have 6 Gomez and then 2 Buenos.
Let me see if I'll find. Okay, there's one Gomez on the bench. Yeah. Rodrigo Gomez.
Mm-hmm. And I think one is also injured. There should be 5.
He's also Portuguese.
Yeah.
And, okay, I can't see the other 2. Yeah. Interesting.
Can you check the injury list? I think there are about 5.
Yeah, the injury list just has Johnston, Doherty, and then Moshkara. I'm sure they didn't. Sometimes they don't always add. Yeah, all the players. Interesting. So Wolves are losing to Leeds United in that game. Is Leeds United to Wolves?
But you still have to commend Rob Edwards for the job that he's done. And that's why I always say that. Look, you don't necessarily have to be fixated on the results, which implies the statistics. Mm-hmm. You have to look at how things play out in proper context. Look beyond the statistics.
Yeah.
And that's why Rob Edwards will be one of the managers to look out for in terms of employment. Yeah. He will definitely get employed, despite the fact that his team will be relegated. He came in later when the situation was dire. Yeah. And what he's been able to do with this team, it has been remarkable. So he will definitely get a new job. And you always have to look at the Vincent Kompany situation. Mm-hmm. Top level manager doing so well, but the materials, they were just not there.
Yeah.
Committing mistakes all over the place. You look at Wolves, for instance, their former manager O'Brien. He's doing very well with Strasbourg. Mm-hmm. He came to replace Liam Rossini.
Yeah.
Right now they're in the Conference League.
Gary O'Neill.
Yeah. Right now they're in the Conference League semi-finals.
Yeah.
Strasbourg. They're in the Conference League semi-finals.
Yeah, because the materials he's working with.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, Lonis, and all.
It's way more different.
Yeah, way better quality. And that's why
I forgot Julio Enciso is with Strasbourg.
Strasbourg. And that's why I make this argument that I look at the Vincent Kompany situation, mm-hmm. and I look at the Liam Rossini situation he's facing right now with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I can draw a comparison that yes, he's lost some games, he's losing some games, but the games that he's lost, how has he lost those games? Is it necessarily because of him or primarily because of him? As in his tactics, his man management or his game management? Is it necessarily because of him? I look at it and I don't think it is so.
Okay.
Because Burnley, they lost so many games under Vincent Kompany. But look at the games that they play, the chances they waste, and the giveaways they give, or they give then. No coach is beating that. No coach is beating that. You have professional footballers who are employed and given mini fortunes weekly. Make a simple pass. And you can't do that. You pass to the opponent, sometimes under no stress or under no duress. How do you want the manager to correct this or change it?
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do. And it leads directly to a goal, and it kills the entire momentum that you built over a certain period in the game. There's nothing you can do. And I point to that PSG Chelsea game.
Yeah.
That's where all the frustration started from. It had been building up, but I think that was the tipping point. Yes, Chelsea lost by 5-2, but in France they lost by 5-2.
Yeah.
But as at the 73rd minute, it was 2-2. It was 2-2. The manager has done his job. You are playing against the defending UEFA Champions League winners
Then a goalkeeper
in their home,
in Jorgensen
in
has
their home ground, though.
different ideas.
In their home, the tie is 2-2, level at 2-2.
Yeah.
You've done your job as a manager. All that they need to do, maintain that same system and play out the rest of the game. 16 more minutes, you are done. Then Jorgensen goes to give the ball away. 5-6 minutes later, they concede another goal. And another 5 minutes, boom. 16 minutes, they conceded 3 goals. It's because of that giveaway that Jorgensen gave away.
Yeah.
That's what you call the sliding door moment in the game. You avoid that mistake, Chelsea don't lose that game. Chelsea don't lose that game. There are chances of beating PSG and qualifying to the Champions League quarter-final. Very high. But guess what? Because of one misplaced pass, which was totally avoidable. But look at where the team is right now.
Yeah.
Today, if they should lose to Manchester United, I wouldn't be surprised that by the end of the season the guy will be sacked. If they should lose to Manchester United and miss out on the Champions League.
Yes, but Bali said that they are sticking with him.
That's what he's supposed to say.
Oh, you mean
that's what he will say.
If you have the key figures coming out to say they are sticking with you,
that means
you know that the sack letter is already prepared.
Exactly. That means you should be thinking the opposite. That means run. How many times have we not heard and seen managers coming? Oh yeah, we are. He's our man. We are sticking with him. Then the next thing you know, 24 hours later, the sack letter has been delivered. So for me, I look at those scenarios, and I honestly believe that a guy like Robert was the manager for Wolves.
I'm sure maybe some of
he will definitely get a job.
Other teams who joined Coventry City in getting promotion to the PL might look at him. I don't know what the situation will be in terms of the coaches who will be at the dugout.
I mean, for them, looking at the promotions, I think it's either going to be Millwall or Ipswich who come up directly. If Ipswich are a point,
are they still with Kieran?
Yeah, so they're still with Kieran McKenna.
Oh, okay.
And so they are just a point behind Millwall on the table now.
And they are also looking at him for the Bournemouth job. But he's not the consensus favorite because he's likely to get them promoted back to the Premier League, and so I don't think he would want to leave that project.
Okay.
But if they miss out on qualifying to the Premier League, I think that's when they will be having a serious look at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. Just a quick update on the other game ongoing. Newcastle losing to Bournemouth. Let me just quickly run you through the starting 11 for the two teams, and then we'll talk about that. Kwacha, I'll come to you on that, and you and Kobe. Newcastle started in a 4-3-3 formation. So Aaron Ramsdale in post, a back four of Tino Livramento, Malik Chow, Sven Botsman, Louis Hall as their back four, but Hall is being yanked off. There is Miley, Sandro Tonali, and then also Jacob Ramsey as the midfield three. They've got Anthony Langa, William Osula, and Harvey Barnes leading the attack for Newcastle United. And at the part of Bournemouth, 4-2-3-1, manager Andoni Iraola. Petrovic is in post. A back four of Chufei, Senesi Hill, and then Jimenez. Christie and Alex Court, your favorite player, and a midfield to Tavernier. Is yeah. Tavernier is also there. He's got a goal for Bournemouth, and then Krupi Ryan got the assist. Tavernier also leading the attack for the Sherries. Their manager is Andoni Iraola. Iraola over the week said that they confirmed that he was going to leave, with Marco Rose coming in next season potentially. Yeah. So Kwache, I say that I'm really impressed with the job Iraola has done with this team. I think we've spoken extensively about what he's done. For a manager to have lost his entire back four, still got a team to play in his own way.
Then some months later lost Semenyo.
Yeah, lost Semenyo again.
Top goal scorer, best player.
I don't think that the momentum dropped. As we speak, they are leading against Newcastle. Impressed with what they've done so far?
Yeah, he's been a good coach. He's been a top coach ever since he's been there. My only struggle with Raiola sometimes is it seems that his teams seem to operate in streaks. So like when he came in initially, he didn't win any of his first 9 games, and then he went on a really good one. And even if he used this season started.
There was a point they won 10 games unbeaten or something like that.
No, without a win.
Without win.
Yeah. So even this season, there was a point where after they had a good start to the season, they went on that long run without a win, and then they ended it at Spurs. If you remember, when Semenyo scored the winner for them in his last goal, and since then that's when they've also been on another positive run. That means that they've come back up to the table, because earlier on in the season they were actually much closer to the relegation zone at the start of this run. So for him, he. Like we keep saying, it depends on the materials you have to work with. And if you look at what he keeps being able to do, once he's able to adjust, see the situation, and then assess it, and then tactically use different approaches, he's shown how clever he can be in that sense, despite the different type of players. I think he just needs an adjustment period with his players, but once he's able to get that, he's able to produce results out of them. That's something you're not going to get to a club like Bournemouth. They're never going to give you the same squad or team for about 4 years. Because as soon as players start performing well, they'll start moving on to better clubs. So you're going to be constantly working with moving parts and with different components all trying to come together.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult for them. I think you mentioned the Kieran McKenna part, and I think that if they were able to get someone like him, obviously I think that's also dependent, like you said, on if Ipswich will go up or not. But if they would get someone like him, he's almost like the direct Eddie Howe replacement. Because he also, just like Eddie Howe, he got direct promotion from League One to the Championship, and from the Championship to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think if he's able to get to that level again with better players, I think he can show that at this level, he can also be a top manager. For the rest of their squad, I think it just depends on what they want to achieve for the rest of the season. Obviously, European football would be a good boost for them, and it would be a good way for Iraola to sign out. So if they're able to keep this up, I think they have a reach out to it. I thought Brentford were probably the team that were closest to Chelsea in terms of getting that extra European spot for the Conference League, but they themselves have they've plateaued a bit.
Okay.
They were on a really good run earlier in the season, but they become. I think Bournemouth will be able to sneak ahead of them just based on their form.
Is Anthony Gordon playing? I don't see.
Gordon's not.
He's not on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's not on the bench.
Is he on the bench?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He should be on the bench.
This earlier coming into the game, or this particular game, there was serious talk about he getting linked to a move to Bayern Munich.
Okay, so he's not.
And Arsenal, and to an extent even Liverpool. And Eddie Howe addressed the situation before this game at the press.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle should cut their losses and let him go. Yeah, they should let him go, because he'll go for big money and settle their serious financial issues. And on top of that, it's not like they don't have enough options in those wing areas. You have Anthony Langa, though he struggled in his first season, but he is a solid option. You have Murphy. You have Johan
Is he
Wissa.
not in the same mode
You
of
Harvey
Gordon?
Barnes.
Yeah.
So you are pretty okay in that department, and I think it will make things much less of a headache
Mhm.
to Eddie Howe or maybe any manager who comes in
Yeah.
to replace Eddie Howe. If Newcastle decide to let him go at the end of this season, it makes things simple, and it makes it easy for them to be able to also play Walter Mada,
Okay.
because they have all these options and they are trying to force a way to get all of them involved at a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it a little bit clumsy to an extent. But you look at it from this point that the Isak money that came in, the way they spent it, the players they spent it on, they haven't necessarily delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Ramsey, Elanga, Johan Wissa, and Walter Mada too. But Walter Mada has shown that he is a good player if you clarify his role for him
Hmm.
and you make him the arrowhead and you play old school traditional kind of football. But Anthony Gordon's versatility at some point has, muddled all of those things up
Yeah.
to the extent that at some point in this season, or even as of last month, Walter Mada was playing as a number 10
Mm-hmm.
behind Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
It made it a little bit jumbled up, and it didn't give proper clarity to the situation from a tactical point of view,
Hmm.
and even from a personnel point of view. Mind you, you are playing Walter Mada as a number 10, and then you have to account for Bruno Guimaraes' runs from deep.
Mhm.
You have to account for Sandro Tonali's runs from deep. Same for Joe Wellington. So structurally, they had some deficiencies, and because they didn't have that kind of production from the players that they brought in, I think this is the best time to sell Anthony Gordon.
Hmm.
Sell him, make some solid money, good money, and use it to cushion yourself, because the money that came in from the Isak deal, they practically spent all of it.
Hmm.
So you don't necessarily need to spend that kind of money to bring in other attackers. I think they are fine.
Hmm.
All they need to do is bring in maybe a couple of defenders, because Kieran Trippier is also leaving, but that's free. So you can recoup some of that money to bring in a defender.
Okay.
And I think they should just show up the depth in the midfield. Maybe Sandro Tonali also leaves. So that's also some money coming in. So that's what I think they should approach this off-season. But for this season, I think things at this point in time are practically lost. They were banking on making the deep run in the cup competitions, as they did last season when they won the Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, the Carabao Cup, I think they go to the semi-final, quarter-final, one of those two. And the Champions League, they also made a good run, but unfortunately, they got kicked out before the quarter-final stage.
Okay.
And so the league, it was always going to be a problem. It was always going to be a problem. Juggling Champions League football and the league,
Yeah.
as they've shown before under Eddie Howe, Newcastle have a problem doing both. And so the league was always going to be a challenge. But the fact that they didn't do as well as they expected in the cup competitions, it practically means that this season is practically lost. And especially when the players that they brought in to replace Isak, his goals, his creativity, didn't necessarily live up to expectation. I think this off-season will be quite critical and pivotal for Newcastle, and it could potentially lead to Eddie Howe's departure.
So on the bench, Newcastle have got Bruno Guimaraes, Alex Murphy, Dan Ben, Joe Willock, Nick Voltimada, Jacob Murphy, Johan Wissa, and Charlie Visa has gone very quiet.
Young Wissa,
And
that injury,
Kieran Trippier.
that knee injury, it really robbed him of what, four months of football. So I mean, look at the attacking options on that team. Joe Willock, Voltimada,
Nick
Johan
Voltimada,
Wissa.
Charlie.
That's a starting front three.
Kobe, talk to me about Newcastle. They're not really in a very good position. The last few games have not been pretty good for Eddie Howe.
Well, Looking at Newcastle, honestly, if someone like Nick Voltemada could find some consistency in his form, I mean, of course, Yao has said so much about Newcastle already, but then I would just like to fixate on certain things. Sound like Voltemada. Voltemada has shown that, for a man of his size, he's very good with the ball at his feet, exceptionally good. But then there needs to be that level of, I don't know, physicality. I don't know if anyone else has made this observation.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it even as Stuttgart.
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays.
But when you get
like
down,
a smaller man.
finesse.
Yeah.
You're saying he plays finesse football.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
someone
thing
who
is that-
say style football.
Exactly. But as a big man, as a big
but
man,
in Germany,
you're expected.
you have
Yeah,
all
that
those
works.
that space and
Yes.
and time to think and whatever.
But in the Premier League, that is where you are expected to take advantage of your physical capabilities. Your advantages, because you are very tall, but
He's
he's
not.
not strong.
He's not well built.
Yes,
He's slight.
He's slight. But the
He's
thing is
slight.
that
That's the thing.
he reminds me of Peter Crouch. Of course, Peter Crouch wasn't as much of a dribbling man as Nick Voltemada is, but Peter Crouch was tall and very spindly, very skinny, gangling guy, but he would get stuck in. But for someone like Voltemada, you can tell that he plays like a small man.
He's too
Yeah.
soft.
Yes, he's like one of those, to make a basketball reference, one of those basketball very big guys who always try to be gentle and all of that. They don't
Try
want
to
to
shoot
get
3
stuck in.
pointers instead of playing
Exactly.
volleyball inside the paint, like Paulo
Exactly.
Banquero.
Yes, You see, but that is not what Newcastle need up front. They need a bully. They need a physical presence. They need someone who will strike fear into people's hearts. That you don't want to get into a physical duel with him because you know how hard he'll hit you. So I think that's something that Voltemada needs to step up. Because of what use are you? And Yao mentioned that he was playing in the 10 role. That confuses me. Because if you are 6'6", and you are playing in the 10 row behind Anthony Gordon, who is maybe a little under 6 foot, how does that add up?
Osula equalized for Newcastle.
He was
He was
offside.
dancing to the Kakalika song.
Oh,
But
really?
He has been ruled out for offside. So,
I see.
I
He
mean,
was
he
dancing
is
to
of
Kakalika song.
Yeah, he's of Nigerian descent, so I'm not surprised that
Hey,
he picked up the
Osula.
Kakalika. Yeah, so Kobe, you are basically saying that
think he's
the
wrong,
kind of fear that Newcastle strike in opponents when it comes to their midfield, the physicality that their midfielders
Yes.
bring to the table, that's the same thing they should replicate when it comes to
Up
their
front.
forward line.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's true because even their defense, they are also very physical. Because you look at a guy like Dan Ben, all of these guys, very Sven Botman, very very physical. Their midfielders very physical, but when you go up top,
Up front, yeah.
then
Soft
it
guys.
drops off a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they should build up that identity as a very tough-nosed physical team.
Yep.
And they've done that to a large extent. But their forward line,
Yeah. And I'm thinking maybe they looked at Johan Wissa to give them that in terms of, but with the height, he wouldn't get that.
he will give you.
But
he'll give you versatility, the ability to play off a big man, can play along the front three, but not as an arrow man or a target.
Yeah.
Because even with DR Congo, he tends to be paired with Bakambu, Cedric Bakambu.
Yeah.
So he's not that kind of guy who will bring that physicality as a lone man up top. No, he's not that kind of guy.
Exactly. And you see, it's funny to me because someone like Joe Linton. Joe Linton was originally purchased as a striker, but he had to be moved back into midfield because the goals were not coming. But they need someone with Voltemada's finishing ability, but that sort of physicality, that mean streak that Joe Linton has, which Joe Linton has transferred into his position in midfield. So I don't know whether that's something Voltemada can work on, or if they'll have to spend. I don't think there's a need for them to dip into their coffers again to purchase another striker. I think that's just something Voltemada has to work on. He's a young striker. He's full
He
of
should bulk
potential.
up a bit.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
and has another season to go again, try and see if the level of bulking up will match up against what the
Exactly.
defenders are.
I think if you take out Anthony Gordon from the mix and you simplify things, play Elanga on the right side, play Harvey Barnes on the left side, and try as much as possible to encourage them to dink in a lot of crosses. Yeah, I think it will give Baltimore that bit of confidence for him to be able to perform. I think that's what they should do at least for now.
But on the other end of things, looking at that Newcastle, we're talking about how the defense and the midfield are quite robust on their own. I think
it's a goal.
Kobe, just hold on, right? So the goal has been was not chalked off. It's been given. So Newcastle United won, Bournemouth won. William Osula.
So the Kakalika celebration.
Is this not the same chap who scored against United?
Manchester
yes, that's amazing.
When he dribbled from that,
I mean,
I wish you can see the replay so you can see the dance.
I see.
And this goes to is not bad.
I mean,
turned away, showed good physical strength.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
He kept his composure in the box.
Managed to dig the ball out of his feet.
The awareness for me. He realized where the defender was coming from.
The awareness. And used his body very well.
My goodness.
Sorted out his feet.
And you see, I think...
And calm finish.
Observing William Osula, I think this is where he thrives best. He's not a player. He's not a striker who, ball at his feet, you be passing around and all that. I think if you give him a ball that he can run onto, because looking at the goal he scored against United, it was a long ball which was on its way out. It was out on the touchline. He was able to drag it back in. Then, he just
sped off his marker,
Yes, sped off his marker and then curled it into the net. So he's more of an instinctual striker.
I think he likes to attack the space in front of him. So he realizes the space and then he takes it. Dortmund too also are doing their things. After equalizing, they are losing again to Hoffenheim. So it's Hoffenheim to Borussia Dortmund. As for Dortmund there,
in the
if you add them to your slips now, I think maybe you don't want money.
Then you have to go for goals.
Because
with
for win there, you
guaranteed
get
goals. And in this game, 2-1. So it means if you tapped in some 0 points
Dortmund
over something, you are good.
So it's Hoffenheim to Borussia Dortmund 1. Hoffenheim added a second goal from the sports kick.
Livramento is injured.
Elsewhere at the St. James's Park, Newcastle United have equalized against Bournemouth.
Livramento looks like he has
injured.
picked up an injury.
Oh my goodness! None one of the right backs, Thomas Tuchel, fancies a lot. Oof, that should be a big blow for. I'm sure.
And I think that's one of the things that the England national team, it could keep some players out.
I hope it's not
the
something
selection pool.
serious.
He's up on his feet.
Because you look at Reece James, look at John Stones. It could come to a situation where all of these players won't be available, not because they are not good enough to be selected, but they are just not physically ready. Livramento also has his injury issues, and you could end up seeing Harry Maguire going to the World Cup. I mean, if John Stones and all these guys are not available, Maguire can go.
But what is Maguire?
But how is he going to deal with the league?
Maguire shouldn't go. He shouldn't go.
Maguire will go.
Ahead of who? No.
The
Centre backs. You have four places.
Fine.
2 starters.
McGahey.
And you have 2 starters and 2 backups.
Yes.
How does Maguire beat McGahey, John Stones, McGahey, John Stones, Ezri Konsa? And then Jarrell Kwanzaa is also there.
Jarrell Kwanzaa
is also there.
I don't think Jarrell
Kwanzaa over Maguire.
When he's been invited.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't, but I look at what Tuchel wants to do with the team.
Jarrell Kwanzaa fits the team better than Harry Maguire.
Okay.
I mean, he's more comfortable with the ball at his feet.
And he's not as slow. That's another.
And he's spacey too.
You see,
I see.
After all of this, it will shock you.
Well, let's see.
When the squad list is
we'll be yet to see the squad list, though.
Maguire will be there.
Because the man I know, Tuchel.
You probably take Maguire for the same reason he's taking Henderson. But it won't be necessarily because of.
Just pop up with also sort of surprise.
But
I'm just hoping that the Tino Livramento injury is not that serious, though.
He's up on the field. I think he's back.
He's back on the pitch.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
He's walking on the side of the pitch. You can see him, but
he's moving on his feet. But he's walking. At least he's walking.
Okay, I mean that's a good size though. So so it's Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 1. 053996 996 053996 996. Union Berlin and Wolfsburg, that game ended 2-1. Yeah, so Wolfsburg winning that game against Union Berlin. Let me see if I can take some messages on the WhatsApp console. While was he keeping tabs on the other games in the EPL? This one says, Hot Bath from Airport says, by now United fans are thinking about how to return to Old Trafford with goals. And as for next season, and set piece FC, they will not win tomorrow against City without Declan Rice. His name is Declan Rice, but you've gone ahead to say Declan Beans. Sir Markin Kofodia says, good afternoon, guys. Team Arsenal will lose by 3 goals to 0 tomorrow, after which the bottling crown will be officially given to them forever and ever. Okay, 053996 0539986 That's the WhatsApp line. Later, somewhere around 4:30, we'll activate the phone lines and then you can call us and share your thoughts with us. Newcastle are playing out a 1-0 draw as we speak with Bournemouth in that game. In the Championship, there are some results also popping up. Stoke City are losing to Wrexham United. Watford Watford are losing to Sheffield United. Swansea and Southampton are playing out a 1-0 draw. Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday just equalized against Charlton Athletic. Birmingham and Hull City is also 1-0 draw. And then early on, we saw Portsmouth beating Leicester City by 1-0. In the French Liga, that game involving Lorient and Marseille have begun. 36 minutes played. Lorient with a lead against Olympique Marseille in that game. The Hoffenheim Dortmund game is also over, so Dortmund losing to Hoffenheim in the German Bundesliga. So that's some of the results coming in from the other major league centers. On YouTube, if you are there watching us, you can leave your thoughts. Eunice Boateng says, Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1. United will play UCL next season. Goes on to predict for the Arsenal game, says Arsenal will win the English Premier League. So that's Eunice Boateng I8X with her thoughts on the Chelsea United game later tonight, and also the Arsenal Manchester City game later on Sunday. This is the Republic of Football 97.3. I'm Gabriel Fen here with Manuel Angelo Kwache and Yao Jamin and also Kobe Oben with me here doing the analysis. Let me run you through the table for the English Premier League. I mean, some of the games have not ended though, but just in case you're wondering where your team is occupying, I'll bring you that update. Arsenal are top, 32 matches played. They have 70 points. Yeah, 70 points and from 32 games played. Manchester City are second, 31, 64 points. So 31 games played. They have 64 points. United are third. They have 55. And then Aston Villa 55. Liverpool do have 52. Chelsea have 48. If Chelsea win today, they'll still be sixth on the table. There's Brentford, who are 7th, 48. Everton 47. Brighton 46. Bournemouth 46. Bournemouth are still playing. Sunderland do have 46. Fulham 45. Newcastle United are 13th on the table. They are 43 points. Crystal Palace are 14th, 42. Leeds 39. Nottingham Forest are 16, 33. West Ham United are 17th. They have 32 points. Spurs, Burnley, and then Wolves in the relegation zone. If Spurs win today, they would jump to 16th on the table. So let's see if Roberto De Zerbi, who is the current boss for Tottenham Hotspur, can guide his team to some good win today. Audi GH2 says Madison is on the bench for Spurs. And okay, James Madison. Okay, so let me just quickly run you through the starting 11 for that game that kicks off at 4:30. Spurs taking on Brighton. Spurs taking on Brighton. I'm running through the starting 11, and then we can get talking pretty soon. Okay, so Spurs, they start with okay, let me get that for you. Okay, yeah, so Kinski is in post, a back four of Pedro Porro, Kevin Danso, Van de Ven, and Udogi. Conor Gallagher is playing midfield with Rodrigo Bentancur. Colum Mwani is in the Xavi Simons as a 10, and then Yves Bissouma. Aye. Dominic Solanke is there. Yves Bissouma is back into the starting 11 for Spurs. Okay. On the
We are Brighton.
so yeah, familiarity, right? Okay, on the parts of Brighton, they have Verbruggen in post, a back for Vifa, Van Hecke, Boskagli, and Kadioglu. Pascal Gross is partnering Ayari in midfield. Yakuba Minte, Hinshe, Wood, Gomez, and Danny Welbeck leading the attack for the Brighton team, who are being managed by Fabian Hazela. So that game kicks off at 4:30. Guys, just quick thoughts on the starting 11. Kwashi, let me start off with you. Roberto De Zerbi is someone I don't even envy at all. I mean, taking out the job at this time. Yeah, just some few games to salvage this team from the red zone. The starting 11, your thoughts?
I think it's a difficult job for him to take, like you said. It's a job that he personally, I think he would have preferred if they had come in the summer. I think that was the agreement, at least in prior talks. That was probably going to be the agreement.
I mean, the relegation strategist job, work out.
Yeah, but Igor Tudor's form for, or his lack of form for Spurs when he was a manager, meant that they had to accelerate the plan and had to go and bring him in early. The truth is, like you said, with Roberto De Zerbi, if he wants Spurs to survive the season, he has to strip it down a bit. If he wants to go with complicated tactics and go like anything by how his previous appointments have gone, I think at Marseille and Brighton, it took him a while before he won his first game for either club. I don't think Spurs have the luxury of time in that sense to wait for him for the players to now adapt to it. But then again, they have also taken the risk by appointing him now. And we keep saying, we're in April now. This is a team that hasn't won a Premier League game all year. This is a team that is still struggling to even still score goals, and this is a team that in itself doesn't really know what it's supposed to look like, because it's worked under about maybe even 4 different head coaches this season. Even if you take in the interim coaches who have taken charge of the team between games, it means that a lot of people have been around this team. So for it to still have one identity, it's going to be hard. And this is already a team that was coming from an Ange Postecoglou system where a lot of sacrifice had been made for that system to work out, if that makes sense. And then we also talk about their injury issues and how they always seem to have about 15 players fit at a time. They never, at some point, all other players seem to be injured for them, and that makes it difficult again to be consistent with your team. I mean, going into this game, I think a win would make everything much easier for all those concerned with Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. Because as this is not yet like a Leicester situation where they are as drifters as it seems. I think they are still 2 points. Yeah. They're still within touching distance of the rest of the league. What they probably need to expect was the form of Leeds United, because Leeds were one of the teams that were, if you looked at the table, they were probably supposed to offer them a chance, not be as good, and offer them a chance of staying up. But it looks like Leeds have been able to. With a win today, they go to 39 points, which means they would be at least 9 points clear of Tottenham. And the only teams realistically that they can catch are West Ham and Nottingham Forest. And I don't know if they will be able to catch either of them. Yeah. How do you call it? Bournemouth have just scored.
Okay, so a second goal from Bournemouth against Newcastle United. 84 minutes. It's Bournemouth 2, Newcastle United 0. Bournemouth looking like running away with all 3 points, but I've still got some few minutes to end that game at the St. James's Park. I think Bournemouth won it. They won it more, Shufei, with that goal for Bournemouth. Yeah.
And the strength now of Spurs too is they seem to be able to get better with different opponents. So if you look at their games since if you look at all the games that they've had since the start of February, if you look at all the games that they've had since the start of February, they've lost. How do you call it? Every single game they played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Their 2 draws came against Liverpool and Man City. But when they faced how do you call it? When they faced Fulham, they lost. When they played against Newcastle, they lost. When they played against Nottingham Forest, a team that's with them in the relegation zone, they lost. So this is you can't. I don't know how to describe whether it's not a lack of motivation, because clearly they can get out for big games, but they just seem to. I think it's pure complacency. Like I think they just expected that at some point they wouldn't be in the relegation zone and they would do enough to. They would have done enough to survive, and then they get into this situation. For De Zerbi, like I said, if he's able to just strip everything down to the basic and just get this team to be, they don't even need to. I think wing it. I think they need to be difficult to beat for a while. If that makes sense. Just slow it down. Try and take the chances that you get. Don't necessarily rush the play, because but a lot of their problems also seem to come from individual errors. But I think those individual errors are just based on how the lack of consistency around the players themselves.
I don't know where you want to pick it from. De Zerbi, he has to start getting points. Yeah. Now he's dealing with Brighton today.
Yeah, I mean this is the De Zerbi derby. Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
He now is the manager, but he gained major prominence when he was the manager at Brighton Hove Albion. Though he had some success at Sassuolo in the Italian Serie A. At this point, honestly, I was surprised De Zerbi took this job at this time of the season. I thought that he would just hold it off till the end of the season. Then, once the season is over, then he takes up the job and start preparing the team this off-season, working with the players that won't compete at the World Cup, like James Maddison, very likely Conor Gallagher. Those kind of players.
Yeah.
Archie Gray, East Bissouma. That's how I envisaged it. But I was surprised that he opted to come in and start right away and not wait for the off season to come. And what that means is, by picking this appointment, he needs to be at peace with himself and not be himself necessarily. Where he's very super hyper focused on the details, the tiny details, how to play out from the back, how he wants his team to play, maintain possession, swing it in certain directions, all of those things. I think he if he's taking up this job, then it means that he's at peace.
Okay.
With a situation where he wouldn't have to be his normal self till the end of the season, and he practically has like a month left till the end of the season to be able to do so. And he not being his normal self means that I don't expect to see Roberto De Zerbi snapping at players from the touchline. I saw this nice description or caption talking about what Spurs need under De Zerbi. They don't necessarily need his tactics or tactical know-how, coaching direction. They don't need it now. But what they do need is a father, not a coach.
Okay.
So you already have the players, they have quality, but what they don't have is confidence. They don't have confidence. You look at this Spurs team and can tell that the confidence is not there. And confidence does a tremendous amount of good to every player. Confidence does a tremendous amount of good to every player. That's how come Beto these days looks like he's he's the best player.
Yeah, and to have played in
to have played in the Premier League.
Because he's confident.
Because the confidence is there.
Yeah.
That's how come last season, that's how come since Oliver Glasner took over as Crystal Palace manager, Mateta, up until he decided he wanted to leave and the deal collapsed and he was out for a while before he started picking things up recently. But ever since Oliver Glasner came, Mateta's confidence is through the roof. And it has coincided with his high rate of scoring.
Okay.
So confidence is what they need. Tottenham Hotspur, confidence is what they need. Because you look at Roberto De Zerbi's first game in charge. It was against Sunderland and they lost by a goal to 0. and you look at the type of goal they conceded, some major wicked deflection. That's what led them to lose that particular game. So, and when I watched the players' body language after that loss, Van de Ven was almost in tears because you could tell that they did things right, but luck just wasn't on their side. So, in that sense, you don't necessarily have to come in and be talking about this is how we are going to attack, this is how we are going to play. It's all about getting the players to be confident that they can do it, that they can still manage to build up play and score goals and manage to defend and get a win. That's all that he needs to do. And a lot will depend on today, because if you're able to do it against your former team in the EPL that you coached, oh yeah, and the players will see it and they know what is at hand. Once they can get this win, yeah, the level of confidence will be through the roof, and yeah, they should be able to get enough points to stay in the Premier League.
Okay,
that is what they do need. Confidence.
Kobe, what do you want to pick it from?
For me, when I look at Tottenham, I think what Kwachi said was very true. I think there was an element of complacency over there. They were just expecting that, as the games go on, meet some mid-table teams, we'll meet some relegation fodder, we'll beat them, and then we'll get out of the relegation zone. But that hasn't been the case. And looking at the sort of people who they've brought in, if we want a certain piece of business that is a sign of the times at Tottenham, bringing in Conor Gallagher from Atletico Madrid in January. You see, Tottenham were in need of midfielders who would be able to change games on their own. James Maddison has been injured for most of the season. Yes. So you need, if you're going to sign a midfielder, you need a midfielder who can change a game on his own, who can create chances, who can even control the game. But looking at Conor Gallagher, his style of play is more or less chaos. He doesn't have a particular thing that he's very good at. He's middling in just about every other thing. He's an all-right passer of the ball. He's an adequate carrier of the ball. He's not the sort of player who you depend on to turn things around.
Gallagher thrives in chaos.
Exactly. So when he stepped into a more structured league, that is La Liga, when he stepped into the Simeone system, you realize that he never really fit in. When he's on the pitch, the players tend to not give him the ball because he doesn't really know how to position himself to receive the ball. Sometimes he's standing too close. At times you see him going way, far forward, out of the midfield. So this is a guy who, on his own, like even within himself, I'm sure if you asked him what his role is on the pitch, he wouldn't be able to give you a defined idea of what he's expected to do on the pitch. So you bring this guy in. What did you expect to happen? What change did you expect him to bring? Or you just wanted him to slot in and then work some magic? That's a big problem for me in this Tottenham side. That they have guys who are on the pitch. Yes, we know that they are footballers, but what do we expect them to do? They brought in Xavi Simons. He was the one they hoped to be a proper attacking option. This was someone who they saw in the Bundesliga creating chances, dribbling, scoring from long distance, short distance, playing with the teammates and so on and so forth. But then he's come into the Premier League. He doesn't seem to be at the level of fitness or physical. Definitely not the physicality. I mean, he's a small guy, but he can definitely pick up on that. But in terms of the alertness required for a Premier League player, he's not always turned on. I understand in the Bundesliga, it's a slower league. The players are afforded much more space. So a lot of players in the Bundesliga look a lot better than they actually are. We've seen several examples with Timo Werner at Leipzig. When he left the Bundesliga, what became of him? We've seen that with Christopher Nkunku, who seemed to have had a renaissance at Leipzig after failed stints at PSG and so on and so forth. Now he's at AC Milan. How is that going?
I think he's okay.
Oh no, he's not. He's not.
I think
he's
it's a
not been
decent.
great.
I think he's okay.
He's not been great at Milan.
No, he
yeah.
definitely hasn't been great, but
Yeah.
I think he's been okay.
Yeah, but then I mean, for someone who people had such high expectations, now look at someone like Kai Havertz when he was in the Bundesliga. When he was at Leverkusen, he was a 10. He was, we saw his technical ability, doing the flicks and tricks, the smooth skills and all of that. But then, since his move to Chelsea and subsequently to Arsenal, we haven't seen that flair. And it's not a loss of ability, it's just that the speed of the game.
Yeah,
The
they
speed of
struggle
the
to
game.
cope with it.
Yes, and that is my problem with Xavi Simons. Looking at Spurs' defense, I think there's a general lack of discipline. Christian Romero, you see, he's one of those players who, at the end of his career, will remember that he won the World Cup. But I don't think we'll remember him for much else. Because you can see that there's no art about him.
Yeah.
He's a hatchet man. He goes in full-blooded every single tackle. You can see that there's no restraint. He doesn't manage himself on the pitch, and he's supposed to be the captain. I understand that as a captain, you have to have that fire in you, but there should be some control. There should be a method to the madness. You don't always go in, because as he's getting those red cards, you'll be out for 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. Those 3 games are games in which he's needed for Tottenham, but he won't be there. So when you get a red card, some people think you're a hero or you're a tough guy. No, you've messed your team up, not just for that game where they'll be playing with 10 men, but for the next game where they'll have to squeeze someone who has spent most of the season on the bench onto the pitch for you. And that is a huge mistake that he's made. A lot of the Tottenham players seem a bit overly relaxed, the likes of Jet Spence, and so there's I don't know what it is. I think it's the same complacency that Angelo was talking about. There has to be some verve. There has to be some fire when you are a top 6 club that isn't performing as well.
Yeah.
So at a point in time when they were slipping down the table, there has to be a point where we tap each other that we need to wake up. We need to sort this out. We need to incubate the situation. That even if we don't get to play in Europe next season, it shouldn't get that serious that now we are in the relegation zone. And we could talk about the attacking issues. Since Harry Kane, they haven't really sorted that out. They've gotten Solanke, up and down throughout his career, from the Chelsea academy, then to Liverpool. Just, he's been around.
Yeah.
He's a solid Prem striker. Maybe you get you about 10, 12 Premier League goals a season, but at this point in time in Tottenham's evolution, I think they will need someone better.
Okay, so that game is at 4:30. Just some few minutes to kick off. The game at the St. James's Park is just 1 minute or less to end. You can see some of the Newcastle fans walking out of the stadium.
I think they're also at the point now where they are questioning whether Eddie Howe is the manager to.
Newcastle fans have always been questioning from 2 seasons ago. It's the last season,
and
I don't even know what they want.
I thought winning the trophy would help him, but it looks like they haven't been able to get to. I think they feel like they are just a Man City in waiting out, and they have enough money. They can compete with the big teams, and the only thing that's holding them back is the quality of manager. And based on some of their performances, you can understand why. Obviously, because of FFP and all the financial, like the Premier League's, how do they call it?
Sustainability rules.
Yeah, the
PSR.
The PSR rules that they have. I think it'll be much more difficult for them to immediately come in and be able to spend some, and they have spent money. That's what we need to now. They have spent money. They have, how do you call it? They spent about 70 million on Tonali. I think Sven Botman was in a similar price range. They spent a lot of. Walter was about 80 million. He and Wester alone was about the same price of what they paid for Isak. So they've been able to invest money. It's just that the problem with the PSR thing is they also need to sell players. And if you are constantly buying players that you want to keep for your project that are long term asset, and you don't really want to sell players like when Isak, they didn't want to sell Isak when he came. Sound like God, and they want to hold on to him. The way the Premier League works right now, you can't necessarily do both. You need to decide whether you're going to, how do you call it? You're going to be a team that's going to be okay selling players, but that means you grow your squad. Or if you're going to find different ways to generate revenue and not necessarily have to be reliant on how do you call it, on replacing players within their squad. And I think if you look at just how they perform under Eddie Howe, I think it's understandable to wonder whether a different manager, maybe a higher quality manager, I don't know whether Andoni Iraola is one of the managers they are looking at, but if you got in a manager with a bit more pedigree, a bit more expectation, if that makes sense, then maybe they can also kick on to the next level.
Okay. So let's see what happens to them. It's Spurs taking on Brighton later at 4:30. We're taking our very second break. When we come back, we'll talk more, try and talk about a Chelsea United game, also look ahead to that game, and then at 4:30 we'll activate the phone lines. This is the Republic of Football 97.3. I'm Gabriel Fair here with Manuel Angelo Kwachia, Jamin Time, Kobe O'Bain. We'll be back pretty soon. This is the Republic of Football 97.3. I'm Gabby Afet. It's an interactive show. 053996 That's the WhatsApp line. If you're live on YouTube with us, you can also leave your comments there and I'll read them. At 4:30, I'll activate the phone lines and you can call us and also share with me your thoughts. There's a big game later tonight. Chelsea taking on Manchester United. That game is at 7 p.m. We've got 3 hours more to that game. But the Italian Serie A, Napoli's game against Lazio started with 4 minutes played already in that game. Let me take some 1 or 2 messages and I'll run you through the starting 11 for the Napoli-Lazio game. The thoughts of the guys. Then we'll come back to Spurs' game against Brighton as well. So RDGH2 says between Jimenez, who plays for Bournemouth, and Munoz of Crystal Palace, who is the better right back this season? Okay. Nanayo Duboatin 5608 says so with Newcastle, their problem is I think is squad depth and poor recruitment. The focus on average players by Eddie Howe is also another factor. It says, how do you sign Elanga and Visa for over £100 million and then panic buy Nick Votimada for 80 million and in 10 play Voti in midfield while I was playing Gordon as a striker?
That too could be used as a sticking point to sack Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe, eh?
Yeah, I think that too could be used as a sticking point because yes, the scouting department can recommend some players, but
it's up to you
if you are the
coach.
manager,
to know what to do with the personnel that comes in.
you have to get some say in it, and that's the reason why he's a manager. It's not just the head coach.
Yeah,
and so that would also be one of the sticking points. And even if he didn't have a say in their purchases, because the people who be arguing for him to go are definitely going to be loud. They can make a point that okay, though you don't like or you don't have any say in these players coming in, at the end of the day they aren't slouches. They are quality players. And the very good or great managers, they find a way to make it work. So you needed to find a way to make it work, and it didn't happen. So they could use it as one of the sticking points to sack him.
Okay. Still on YouTube, he says Eddie got it all wrong with the UCL in the mix and tried many new tactics which backfired. He says trying the Joelinton thing with Nick where he has no aggression is wrong. Nick is just like Joshua Zexi. On the WhatsApp console, Alvino from Akosombo is explaining why he texted good evening early on. He says the weather confused him a bit, but his Chelsea side will beat United. I think he's probably in his dark room with his curtains. You see that feeling?
I had that in mind. But I was like,
lost track of
time.
No, I can share what he's feeling now because when I'm home and you don't want to see the sun today.
You want to shut out the rest of the world. You are so tired. You just want to shut out the rest of the world.
And then
yourself.
You've lost track of time too. You probably have not checked your phone, your watch or something.
He says he's calling from. He sent it from Akosombo. Right? Maybe it could be that it's cloudy.
It's cloudy there.
Yeah, and so when you double that with having maybe thick curtains. In your room, it gives you the feel that it might be around 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m.
Okay. Nathan from Kaswa says, good afternoon, guys. If Newcastle needs a wrestler as a striker, then I propose Rasmus Højlund for them. He would overdo the job easily. But Maguire in an England shirt always turns up like a monster for his nation.
Thank you.
He's done better than both Ezri Konza and Maguire for England. Just that Tuchel rates all of the others over him because of his many limitations. But I'll choose Maguire in my squad.
Me too.
Ahead of Konza any day. So he's also shared his thoughts tying it to the conversation we had earlier about if Maguire can command the starting berth, or get into that final squad Tuchel will name for England. Remember that the Black Stars of Ghana are in the same group with England's 3 Lions, at the World Cup. Okay, so let me take you to the Italian Serie A, right? Let me take you to the Italian Serie A. Napoli's game against Lazio. I think Lazio have already taken the lead against Napoli. Let's see the starting 11 for Napoli and Lazio, and then we can chit-chat around it real quick, then come back to that game involving Spurs and Brighton. So Napoli are starting with a 3-4-2-1 formation. Rasmus Højlund, who I mentioned his name not too long, is starting for Napoli. Scott McTominay is in there. Kevin De Bruyne is back a few match weeks ago. He's also starting today. Politano, Zambo Anguissa is also starting. Lobotka, Spinazzola in the Oliveira, and Bukemi as part of Bonagio as the back 3, and then Milinkovic Savic, not the player, he's a goalkeeper, also Serbian, in post for Napoli. For Lazio, they go with a 4-3-3. Mota is in post. Tavares, Gila, Romagna, Lazzari, Basic, Katadi, Taylor, Zaccagni, Nosli, and then also Canceleno starting for Lazio. So Napoli are losing already to Lazio in that game. Let me just run you through the table when it comes to the Italian Serie A, and then we can look at what the results means for Napoli when it comes to the title race. So Napoli are second as we speak. Inter Milan are top of the table, 78 points. They've won their last 3 out of 5 games. So 3 wins, 2 draws for Inter Milan. Napoli, as we speak, like I said, are losing to Lazio. They have 66 points. AC Milan are third, 63. Juventus are fourth, 60 points. Lazio are ninth on the table, 47. Also pushing for a place in the Conference League. Como are fifth, also pushing a place for Champions League football. They lost to Juventus. Nope, they lost to Inter Milan rather in their last game. Yeah, very 4-3. Yes.
Yeah, 4-3.
A very good game. Yeah.
Very
So after losing to Inter, they also lost to Como. Sorry, they lost to Sassuolo. So that has also dropped them into 5th place and are in the Europa League spot. But I think they'll definitely play in one of those competitions, either the Champions League or the Europa. For the bottom 3, you have Lecce in there, Verona and Pisa. Pisa, I think, are gunners. Okay, so they are tied with same points with Verona, 18 points. So let's see who would join Pisa and Verona. I think Lecce 27 points. Cremonese do have 27. Cagliari are 16th with 33 points. So that's how it's looking like in the Italian Serie A. Guys, I don't know if you want to have your just quick thoughts on Napoli's game against Lazio. Napoli is losing. They should win to give Inter some, slight pressure. When it comes to the title race,
Inter
will still win it.
Will still win.
But they're making it too easy though.
Yeah, which is quite surprising because before the start of the season, I tipped Napoli to successfully defend their title.
Yeah.
Not because they were immune from losing their title hold, but because I looked around and the contenders just weren't there enough.
Yeah.
Because Juventus brought in a new manager. They had Igor Tudor, and then later they sacked him and brought in Luciano Spalletti. Inter Milan had brought in Christian Kivu. So I looked around and I didn't see any team giving Napoli any kind of strong title challenge, and that's why I picked Napoli to win the league. But Inter Milan have surprised me. They really have surprised me. So yeah, it's been a bit shocking. You see, You see that pass?
Yeah, that was
you see,
very
you see
good.
that pass?
Yeah, I was
That's
paying-
what a professional player
I thought
should
you were
do.
not paying it, but I was paying
Yeah,
attention.
Brighton
to
and Hove Albion, their defenders giving passes. This is what Jorgensen should have done, and this is what Arteta expected Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba to do
yeah.
against Manchester City and against Bournemouth that they couldn't do. Defender, pick the pass. You are a professional player. You can't pick a pass. You can't pick a pass.
Yeah.
I mean, so sometimes they make it difficult for the managers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. But back to the Italian Serie A conversation. Like I said, I'm a bit shocked that Inter Milan are on the verge of winning the Serie A title.
Mm-hmm.
I expected Napoli to win it. And on top of that, you look at the contenders, even Atalanta, they brought in a new coach. Gasperini left. They brought in Ivan Juric.
Mm-hmm.
He got sacked, and a new manager has come in. So, yeah, looking at around, I think, yeah, overall it will be a very disappointing season for Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even the moves that they made initially, it didn't give them the results that they wanted.
Mm.
Because you won the league and you bring in Kevin De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
That should solidify your chances of retaining the league. But he got injured, that hamstring injury, and he was out for like 3 months. Then Lukaku too, at the beginning of the season, he got injured. He just recently started playing. Zambo Anguissa
Also got injured.
Yeah, he got injured, and that's the reason why he missed out on the AFCON, playing for Cameroon. Even Højlund, he started very well, scoring goals. He even caught the injury back. So, yeah, it hasn't been the best of seasons for Napoli, and yeah, Inter Milan, they do deserve to win the title, but I'll be looking out to see what Napoli does this off season. But for Inter Milan, I think they will be even better next season. And yeah, I think they've definitely returned, and they didn't drop off too long after Simone Inzaghi's departure.
Okay, Kobe.
Well, looking at this Serie A season, particularly the title race, having monitored it from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and for Como, Como, my heart goes out to Como. I mean, Fabregas, what he's done with this team,
Fantastic.
brilliant stuff.
Fantastic. But then, looking at Serie A from the beginning, there was a point in time where the title contenders was more or less the two Milan clubs, and Juventus were not in the best of form. Even it's only recently that they've started rebuilding, and now they're in the top four. But AC Milan were on top of the league, and then they dropped off. They got into this vein of constantly drawing games, because of Allegri's negative tactics. So they would score one goal, and then they would be satisfied with that, try to defend, and then they would end up conceding. And it kept going on in so many different games against Pisa, against Como. And then, so they would draw those games, and then they would beat the big teams. So they were beating Roma, they were drawing with Juventus, they would beat Inter. In fact, this season, they've beaten Inter in both of the derbies this season. But they would just drop points in the small games. And that is what has led to Milan now being third. For Napoli, they were playing well at the beginning of the season. Then, as Yao said, certain key players fell victim to injury. And so they dropped off. They're only now picking up again now that the players are back. For Inter Milan, they have been consistent throughout the season. They've been a high-scoring team. They've been excellent defensively. And one thing that sets Inter Milan apart from most Italian teams is that they have a quality first team and a quality second team. Because in attack, they play with a two-striker system. And up top, they have Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez. But then they have good deputies for them as well. They have Pio Esposito and they have Anjuan Boni, who have been very good, even though you wouldn't think that they would be that good considering where they came from. Anjuan Boni came from Parma in the summer. But he's done so well as a deputy. He's, when they get the opportunity to play, they come on, they score pivotal goals. And in a 3-5-2 system, the midfield three is the most important part of the game. And they keep refreshing. they bring in new players all the time. This season they brought in Zielinski. They brought in someone who has experience in the league, who doesn't need to adapt to anything. So he stepped into the midfield and he's played there as if he's played there all his life. And they know how to make good use of their aging players, guys like Çalhanoğlu, guys like Mkhitaryan. They've been able to manage their minutes alongside Barella, and they rotate. So these are all things that have played, come together to make Inter the team they are this season. This team that's going to win their 21st Scudetto. The thing is, they haven't really been, shaking off their opposition. So they play against title contenders. They can draw, they can lose. But then when they meet with the small teams, when they meet with the mid-table teams, they win, and they win definitively. Because I remember there was a game against Pisa. They went 2-0 down, and they came back and they won 6-2 actually. 6-2 because of the substitutions, because of the resilience, because of the work rate of the team. You see, and right now this season, the leader in assists is Dimarco. Dimarco, their left wing back. So that shows that the creativity comes from all over the pitch. The goals come from all over the pitch, and they are by far the best team in Italy. Even last season, the title race in Italy was so tight between Inter and Napoli. It was only because of Inter's wastefulness in the last couple of games that they didn't win the league again. So all Napoli needed to do was beat, I think it was Cagliari, and then Lukaku scored twice, and then they won the league. So honestly, Inter, even last season that they didn't win the league, it was just a drop off. I think they were juggling everything. They were fighting for more or less a treble, but they ended up winning nothing. So looking at this Inter team this season, I think they've been able to focus more on one particular thing, because they went out of certain tournaments quite early. They've been able to cut their losses, focus on the league, and now they've opened up quite a gap, and congratulations to them.
All right, so that's the word on the Italian Serie A. Napoli, as we speak, are taking on Lazio. In that game, 20 minutes played in Italian Serie A. The Spurs Brighton game would also kick off pretty soon. Then later at 7 p.m, there is a final game today in the PL. Chelsea taking on Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Tomorrow the guys will be here to just do a quick review on that game. Chelsea taking on United. What would come out from that game? Chelsea was also chasing a place in Champions League, Europa League. Depending on where they finish. So let's see. Let me get back to YouTube and take some more messages. It says, okay, so I'm a Newcastle fan and I have all the time to rant. Many of my players are squad players at best, and we want to rise. So Dan Burn, Malik Thiaw, Sven Botman, Livramento, Ramsey are all bang average. Hey. This one I disagree with some of the players you've put there.
No, can you mention?
He says Dan Ben, Miley,
okay,
Malik Thiaw. Oh, this guy.
Bang average is a strong.
Malik Thiaw has been. I think he's been helpful. Though.
Dan Ben, who is on the verge of making the England squad.
Yeah, Sven Botman, Livramento.
No.
Ramsey. Unless maybe you are watching different. You are watching.
Malik Thiaw is not.
This one, you are alone on this one.
He says, I support 3 teams in this world: United, Newcastle, and Forest.
Hey, you didn't mention Blackstar.
Newcastle should stop focusing on UCL and build their team with Premier League stature and top 6, at least, and focus on the Conference League and the Europa League. So Nanaya Edu Boateng 5680, who is a Newcastle fan, mentioned a number of players who are bank average. You're using your own word, so because Malik Thiaw, if you see what no, okay, I think that's your own assessment of your squad. 053996 053996 996 053996 That's the WhatsApp line. It was good to see Madison on the pitch again. The first time he's named in Spurs' lineup since December 28, 2025. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, that whole Spurs medical team, Nagazan.
Oh no, they should be cleared.
They need some.
Oh, remember me? I said
yeah
that it's cost a couple of coaches their jobs. It's cost them their jobs, and this is not like a fluke thing. It's happened consistently over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah,
It's happened again. It has affected Kudus too. That medical team, yeah, they need to go. They need to go. Because one, maybe it's a fluke.
Yeah.
2, maybe coincidence. 3, straight seasons. No.
At this point, I don't even know how I feel for Madison, because I feel like when he's given minutes again today, he probably might get injured again.
I mean,
I don't want to jinx it though, but
yeah, think about it. Kulusevski got hurt, and
He came up.
Postecoglou was the head coach of
Yeah.
Tottenham. Ange is gone. Thomas Frank came. Thomas Frank is gone. Ego Tudor came. Ego Tudor is gone. And now
He's still not
Roberto
recovered.
De Zerbi is in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And he's still not back.
And that's a lot to take, though. That's a lot to take on the part of Spurs. But I think Spurs really need a win today. Really need it. It's a winless run of 14 matches. They're just too shy of the longest such run in their history of 16, and that was set between December 1934 and April 1935. There was another stat also that said that in the entire history of English football, they were rubbing shoulders with Sheffield United as the only 2 teams to have accrued just fewer wins this season. If you've reached that place there, then it means that you don't deserve to play in the Premier League. And so if they don't win today, I think it would be very more difficult for Roberto De Zerbi to salvage this team out of relegation zone. Yeah, so that game is just 4 minutes away from kickoff. Alvino from Makosombo says, Gabi, we need to praise Fiorentina for avoiding relegation, because I remember some few episodes ago they were in there. They were very in there in the red zone. I remember what the guys who did some calculations that they had gone on a very good run. They'll come out of the relegation. And Kwache, you want to say something?
and I think they've got in their last 17 games.
Yeah, they are what on the table now?
I think they're around mid-table now.
Mid-table, okay.
Yeah, they've been able to get out of relegation entirely, and it's just they just went on a really good run of form. I think Moise Kean too has been in better form, and they've been able to drag themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you look at the Serie A this season, I think it's a bit like the Premier League. There are a lot of good teams, and a lot of. It depends on how good your form is, not necessarily how good your team is. Because most of the teams are evenly matched. It's not like obviously the Premier League, because of how the money is shared, there's sometimes a big discrepancy. So the more you finish in the higher half of the table, the more you have to invest in players, and that creates a bit of a gap. But in the other leagues, I think the money is about, obviously there's a difference in where you place on the table, but we're not talking like significant amounts like the Premier League. So the quality comes down to how well your coaching is and how well your recruitment is. And Fiorentina have actually been on a good path. Like, they played in a Conference League final not too long ago. I think they made back-to-back European finals in a year, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a bad team. I think they're just struggling a little bit at the start of the season. I think they made a change for their manager. I think I think it's Italiano that came in. I'll confirm that. But they had a change in manager, and obviously that's given them the spark they need to climb up the table.
Okay. Let's activate the phone lines 05 49 96 996 05 49 986 996. You can call us. Let's get talking. The next 30 minutes is for our viewers and listeners. Building up to the Chelsea game against United, you call us, you send us you predict into that game, and also if you want to talk about the Arsenal game against Manchester City later tomorrow. Also, feel free to do so. I also love to hear from you how you feel about the Leicester City situation that has got 2 Ghanaian players in there. If they get relegated, we'll have 2 players playing League One in a Black Star setup heading into the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Hi, your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, hi. I just want to greet all of you in the first place.
Okay. Your name, please?
Okay. I'm Justinovich. I'm speaking from Kaswa.
Okay. Please talk to me.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about Tottenham's first game. All I want to say is that I just wish them the best of luck, but I strongly believe that they are going to pick up the win because of their situation right now at hand. And I've seen their spark. Madison is spark. And I think one of their main strikers is also on the bench. And few players who have been also, who have returned. Yeah, I think because of Deserbi playing home, which is his first home game, especially against his own former club, he knows how they play. He understands what Brighton is all about. Maybe he might not be in the mind of Brighton coach, which is his tactics, but he knows them a little bit. So going to this game, he will know how to approach them with a good. However, maybe he's going to just handle them well. But I think after the game, within the 90 minutes, I think Tottenham will carry the game. If not at all, I think they will get the draw. Thank you.
All right. What do you say your name again? Is this Justin?
Justinovich.
Justinovich. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right.
Okay.
All right. 054996996. 054996996. I'm Gabriel Fan. Call us. Let's get talking. Chelsea United is on to look for later tonight. Arsenal are up against City later tomorrow. And then also you can share your thoughts about the ongoing game. Spurs taking on Brighton. Jordan Ayew, Fatau Isaku on the verge of playing in the League One. That's if Leicester are able to get some good wins in the last 3 games left. Hi, you know where you're calling us from?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. This is John Champion from Nadina Music.
John Champion, what do you want to talk about?
Last week, I said something. I don't know whether you were the host last week concerning Newcastle coach that he suspended us. His time has come because there's no way he's going to achieve anything in that team. And today, I'm very, very grateful that you and your panelists discuss about it because he cannot help the team in any way. He cannot add anything. He's just there to play English players. That's what he's doing there. And another thing is, I think it will be a great disservice to football if Tottenham Hotspur is relegated and Nottingham Forest remains in the league. It will be a great disservice to Premier League. And today Chelsea will deal with Manchester United. Definitely. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John Champion. 0549986 996 0549986 996. Call us, let's get talking. You can also share your thoughts on Chelsea's game later tonight against United, 7 p.m. at Stamford Bridge. And then also the Arsenal fans, how are you feeling ahead of your game against City? It's mentor versus mentee later tomorrow. Chelsea fans, are you confident that your team can get Champions League football? And Liam Rosinia, tactical Liam Rosinia. I saw a tweet earlier today. Somebody said at this point, let's just go and bring Frank Lampard to come and coach the team. You see how football fans can be fickle sometimes. This same Frank Lampard was there. It's Chelsea fans. Hi, anywhere you're calling us from?
American Day Students SP, all the way from Bolga, Upper East Ring.
Your name is what?
American Day Students SP.
American Day Student FC.
Yeah, I used to call on your program.
I see. What do you want to talk about?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Please go ahead.
So I want my team Chelsea to beat Manchester United today. But I have a message for one of my friends who is a fan of the Butler FC. His team will bottle the league this season too. So the London will forever remain blue. Good evening to your listeners.
Good evening, American Day Students. 054996996 0549986 Hi, and where are you calling us from?
Yes, Gabby, this is Greg. I'm calling from Takrady.
Greg, how you doing?
Very well. Gabby, yourself?
I'm doing well. What team do you support?
Oh, as usual, everybody knows me. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I have retired until the end of the season. Then I'll come back. I think that the team is not good for my health for now. But I can't leave my dear club team Chelsea. So I still support the team, but they have been blacklisted to the end of the season until this PE teacher is sacked. And those at the helm of affairs make sure that they put, a better coach in there, get better players for the team. Look, Gabi, the Chelsea that some of us used to support in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. When Jose Mourinho came in around 2004, 2005. It's not the team Chelsea today, isn't it? Be clear. And Gabi, I know you. You are very fair and firm with the truth. Is that okay? And so I think that, look, we have been very poor this season. We don't deserve any. We shouldn't be close to the Champions League. We are not good. We are not just good. We go into the Champions League and we go and disgrace ourselves. You watch whatever happened against PSG. It's a classical example of this, the depth that we don't have in this team and the quality that we lack in this team. And so for us to look good, I think that we should place around 8, 9, 10. We'll dodge, European football, that's the Conference League and then the Europa League. Then we can take our time, get better players, and come and build a good team for the next season. That is what I think, Gabi. For the match against Manchester United, look, if for pride reasons, these gentlemen go there and then beat Manchester United, that is okay. But I still feel that those first 5 teams, or the first 5 teams in there are good. They are okay. Those 5 teams should go and play the Champions League. I am not sure, currently speaking, any Chelsea fan who will be truthful to him or herself will tell you that you are not better than Aston Villa, you have not been better than Liverpool, you are not better than Manchester United, and then the first 2. And so, Gabi, all in all, I think that that is all that I have to say. Basically, Team Chelsea should come again. We should go and do our things well and come back God willing next week.
All right, thank you so much, Greg. 054996996. Let's move on to our next caller. Hi, and then where are you calling us from?
Yes, hello. My name is Abdul Rashid. I'm calling from Kaswa.
Abdul, what team do you support?
I'm a United fan.
All right, talk to me.
Okay, I'll first like to tackle on Tottenham's their issue. It's really disheartening when you see them going on relegation. Looking at the sort of players that they have with the nice edifice of their stadium, it's really very disheartening to see them go on relegation. Just that they've been hit with a lot of injuries. And I think today their new coach, he has to do that well to make sure they win today. With Leicester, what is really happening with Leicester? With all the squad that they have, and they are going to play League One. No, that's very bad. Very, very, very bad. For United, our West today is going to be draw. Yes, we will beat Chelsea. We will beat Chelsea at their home ground.
I see. You're confident?
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very confident.
All right. Thank you, Abdul Rashid.
All right.
054996996. 054996996. Callers, let's get talking. We're building up to Chelsea's game later tonight against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, and later tomorrow there is Arsenal up against City. So 2 big games this weekend in the English Premier League. As we speak, Spurs are taking on Brighton, and Hove Albion is 8 minutes played in that game. And also you can share your thoughts on how you feel about Jordan Ayew and Fatai Isaac, who's current situation with their club in Leicester City. Hi, and where are you calling us from?
My name is Nene, and I'm calling from Lagos.
Your name is
Nene.
Nene, what team do you support?
Man U. Ali is the best team in the world.
All right, please talk to me.
Man U is the best team in the world. But you know, Chelsea fans, they talk, guy. Chelsea fans, they talk. Your team no good. Your coach cannot even win 2 straight matches in a row. And you are coming to play Man U, you keep quiet. Are they shocked? We'll score Chelsea 2-0. Bro, I'll call back after the match and we'll talk on this particular scoreline. We'll score them 2-0 on their home ground.
All right, thank you. 054996996. So Manchester United is beating Chelsea. Let's hear from more Chelsea fans. Hi, I know where you're calling us from. Okay, we don't have a caller. 0549986 996 0549986 996. Hi, I know where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Yes, your name, please.
Good evening. This is Hot Babs from Airport.
Hot Babs, what team do you support?
I support Chelsea.
All right, talk to me.
I think today Chelsea is playing at home, right?
Yes, at Stamford Bridge.
The game is close. The game is close already. I'm not sure our team can win at the Bridge tonight. I'm a pure Chelsea fan, but honestly, looking at how our club or our team has been losing at Stamford Bridge this season, I don't think this game Chelsea can do it. It's only that we are just going to watch the highlights, but I'm sure Manchester United will be winning the match. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Hot Babs. He's a Chelsea fan, predicting a loss for his team. We have our next caller. Hi, your name, where are you calling us from?
Hi.
Yes, your name, please.
Yeah, my name is John.
John, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Chado.
What team do you support?
I'm a Man U fan.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so tonight, definitely, like, Man U, we are beating Chelsea. Like, even though we are playing at their house, we are beating them. Yeah, that one is just, like, it's just sure we are beating today. But on the other hand, concerning Spurs, Tottenham was first. But I'm just praying that tonight they should win their match against Brighton. Because we can't allow them to go on relegation. No. You know, like when they are in the league, like it makes the league exciting actually. For instance, like maybe they're playing against United, sometimes scoring us, sometimes scoring Chelsea, scoring City, and stuff like that. You see, so like they not being in the league, like it will be something. So they're just praying that they should also stay in the league, so that we should all enjoy the league next season. Yeah, that's my take. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John. 054996996 0549996. Come on, let's get talking Chelsea United later tonight, and Arsenal up against Man City later tomorrow. Spurs are taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. 12 minutes played is goalless, and also you can also share your thoughts on Leicester City situation. That team, do you have 2 Ghanaian players in there, Jordan Ayew and Fatai Isaku, who, if Leicester get relegated, they will be playing in League One. Yeah, unless they want to leave the club. So, Colors, let's get talking. 0549986 996 0549986 996. I'm Gabriel here with Manuel Angelo Kwache. Yahweh Jamin Time Kobe Bain as my guest for today's discussion. Chelsea's game is later tonight. It's Chelsea v Manchester United at 7 p.m. And then later tomorrow is Arsenal up against Man City. So a weekend of busy or big fixtures for you. Spurs are taking on Brighton. Goalless in that game. And then the French Ligue 1, Lorient are beating Olympique Marseille by 2-0. Frankfurt, as we speak, is goalless with RB Leipzig And for the MTN FA Cup, those who are interested, Dreams FC 3, Mediama Sporting Club 2. Charlie, you 5 goals.
Are they done?
No, 76 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still tipping Mediama to qualify to the final.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm tipping Mediama.
You know, Dreams have got immense experience when it comes to playing this competition.
Yeah. And for Ibrahim Tanko, it hasn't been the best of production from his team in recent time. They held a 9-point lead in the league.
They bottled it and it's now like 2 points also.
And that one even came because Bibiani Gold Stars lost
to
Aduana in the last league, Ghana Premier League round of games. And so he needs to win at least one of those 2 trophies, if not all. Otherwise, he might just get sacked.
I see.
Yeah, because if you've been given all these resources, nice stadium, all these players, top quality stuff, and you end up blowing the lead and potentially could end up without one you face the sack.
Okay, let's get back to our callers. Hi, your name, where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, what's your name, please, and where are you talking to us from?
My name is Superior.
Your name is?
Superior.
Superior?
Yes.
What team do you support?
From Community 25.
Okay, so what team do you support?
I support Chelsea.
Please talk to me.
So, my own opinion, right now, I think Chelsea is doing giveaway right now. So we don't have a strong team right now, but we hope, we believe that I think Chelsea can do something today. Yeah, they can do something today. So now I want to talk about Leicester City.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Well, for Leicester City, I think it's not good for a player like Ayew to join Leicester City to relegation zone, because when he gets to World Cup, when the commentator they are going to talk about him, they'll be talking about him as it as the team is relegated, not that kind of thing. So if you find a way and leave the team. So that's my opinion.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Superior, for calling into the show. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Call us, let's get talking. We're talking to you all the way to 5 p.m. And we have our next caller. Hi, and then where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm alright too. Your name, please, and where are you talking to us from?
Oh, okay. I'm Success Act from Michelcom.
Your name is?
Success Act, Michelcom.
Sussex Act.
Yes, from Michelcom.
I see. Talk to me. What team do you support?
Oh, I'm a Real Madrid fan.
Alright, talk to me.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about Arsenal. It's like Arsenal, let me say, they look funny to me, because you can't be on top of the league and reduce your point to, let's say, 6 points, 6 points lead now. Which City is having an outstanding match and is about to play you tomorrow. To me, I don't see Arsenal winning the league. If they lose tomorrow, they are not going to win the league. And I want to talk about Leicester City issue, which is very bad on being a Ghanaian, in our captain, going for Leicester City in a championship that if they don't play well, they are going to be relegated to League One. It's very bad. It's very bad. And I want to say this, Perez is giving us tough time. I think he needs side players for us because when Toni Kroos and Luka Modric were around, Kamavinga and Tchouaméni, they are the players that complement them when the guys are being substituted. And they bring new energy. So at a point, you may think they are one of the best midfielders, but since Toni Kroos and Luka Modric are going, you see they are struggling. So you need experience in the midfield, and we really need to be serious, or we get a striker so that Mbappe will go to the win. And I feel we get Olise. The guy is good. This is what I want to talk about.
All right, thank you so much. Success. 0549986 996 986 Call us, let's get talking. We can pick some more calls and hear from some more football fans on what they think. If you're a Chelsea fan, let's hear from you. If you're a United fan, let's hear from you. Arsenal, Man City, what you think about Leicester situation. Liverpool fan, call us, let's get talking. Hi, where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good evening, boss.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, your name please?
My name is Abdul. I'm calling from Tema.
What team do you support, Abdul?
I support Real Madrid.
Alright, talk to me.
But I only talk about Chelsea and Man U match, I think Man U have to win this match because some time ago I used to support Man U and I know what Man U have already done with Chelsea. But this time around, and Chelsea is playing home, that doesn't matter. So Man U will go 2-1. Yeah. And then Midiama and Dreams FC, the match, it will end at 3-4 against Midiama, against Dream FC. I'm sure Dream FC will come back. Midiama will come back and do it for me. I like Midiama to qualify for the next round. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Abdul. 0549986 996 0549986 996. Hi, and where are you calling us from?
Hello, yeah. This is Raymond.
Your name, please?
Raymond.
Raymond, where are you calling us from?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm blessed, my brother.
Nice one. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah. I would like to talk about the FA match yesterday. I'm Chelsea fan, but I'm ashamed of talking about Chelsea these days. Can you hear me?
What? Yeah. What did he say?
I said I'm ashamed of talking about Chelsea these days. I'm Chelsea fan since 2004 when Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto.
Okay.
And left Portugal and came to London. I left Real Madrid and joined Chelsea today. There's this Abusco coach that they brought for us, who is disgracing us left, right, and center and speaking big English. I don't want to talk about Chelsea again. Please, I want to confirm from you, if Ndidi no longer in Leicester City, are you Ndidi, Nigerian captain? As if people are only talking about the day and Fatao.
He's no longer with the team.
Oh, he's no longer with Leicester.
Yeah.
Ndidi. Oh, I see. No idea. Which team now is he playing?
He plays in the Turkish league now. I would have to fetch that for you. But
I see. No, I don't have any idea, please. FA match yesterday, who won?
What do you say?
FA Cup match yesterday. I thought they played one yesterday, or?
What, the FA, what, the one in Ghana?
The one in Ghana,
yes,
Ghana FA Cup. I thought they played one yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Which people won?
So it was Nations, Nations and who?
Nations, Ghana.
Yes. So Nations beat Ghana by 1-0.
Okay, 1-0.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Then I would like you also to have time to talk about under 17 preparation for their league stage match in Morocco, because you know everything starts from these popular guys. I always be happy whenever you people are talking about sports. You try all your possible best to touch every angle, every area, so that people can be embraced with the whole things that are happening. You are doing a great job.
All right, thank you so much, Raymond. We appreciate your time on the show.
And always keep it up, yeah.
All right, thank you.
I wish you for the best of luck, yeah. So, before I hang up, Benjamin and Rita has married and left us. I hope so.
Raymond, we'll have to go, right? Because your other callers waiting.
Mate.
All right, thank you so much. 0549 986 996, Charlie. Sometimes, you have to be dealing with, you have to, they are super fans, Yeah, so. Hi, where are you calling us from?
Hello, I'm McCarthy from North Ganesh.
Your name is what?
McCarthy from North Ganesh.
McCarthy. Oh, okay. Talk to me, McCarthy. What team do you support?
Oh, I'm a Barcelona fan.
Okay, talk to me.
Well, as per my team, these are all the trophies we can win. La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the domestic trophies, because we don't want to invest. Since we don't want to invest, these are the trophies you can win, because now your academy can win you the Champions League like 2009. You see, nowadays your academy can't win the Champions League like in 2009. So these are the trophies we can win. And for Spurs, they shouldn't miss that. The championship is ranked 6th in the world, so it's not a bad league. They should go and restart from there. It's nothing. They should go, because you can't have a fan base who would rather take their team being relegated to a team winning the league. Do you remember 2 seasons or a season ago? Hello.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember the outstanding team versus Man City when Son made that chance of Guardiola went down as if he was about to die?
Yep.
Yeah, they were happy Man City beat them, because they said they wish Arsenal would bottle the league for them to go to relegation. That would be good. So they may be witnessing both this season. So they should go on. They should go on. Thank you.
All right, thank you, McCarthy. 054996 996 0549 96 996. Hi, where are you calling us from?
Hello.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from, please? Hello. Hello. I think you're listening to yourself. Please don't do that. Yes. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set or radio set for me?
Hello.
Okay, that is, I think we'll have to move on. 0549 96 996 0549 986 996. That's the call number. You can call us. Let's get talking. We'll pick some 2 calls. And then, okay. Hi, where are you calling us from?
This is Atashito all the way from the Mahama Stretch.
Atashito. Okay. What team do you support?
Chelsea.
All right, talk to me.
This is Atashito all the way from the Mahama Stretch. Yes, you see, Chelsea can never be written down, you understand? Yes, and as I'm saying, there is no way today when you can win. There is no way. The West is rough. Man, you can do better, and they can put up their best everything, but their best performance will be a draw. Chelsea, our most hated color is red. So no matter what team that show up in red, we are always in. You understand? So don't be facilitated or don't get agitated. Chelsea will take half the day today, no matter the circumstances.
All right, thank you so much. 054996 996 0549 986 996. We'll take final 2 callers, and would deactivate the phone lines. Hi, and then where are you calling us from?
I'm Brown from Amazon.
Brown, please talk to me. What team do you support?
I'm a Barcelona fan.
All right.
I just want to talk about the City match. Arsenal and City. I think City will win by 3 goals margin, either 5-2 or 4-1. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Straightforward from Brown. 0549969996. We'll take our final caller for today, and we'll deactivate the phone lines. And then we're back same time tomorrow to continue the discussion. Hi, anyone? Where are you calling us from?
Yes, Baba Jamal Rice. I'm calling from Kashima SP.
Your name, please?
Baba Jamal's Rice Water.
Baba Jamal's Rice Water.
Yeah.
That's your name?
Yeah, that's the name.
Okay. What team do you support?
Yeah, so I want to talk about I'm a United fan. So I think United will make it to the Champions League. And then Carrick is looking shaky, but I mean, I'd rather we get the permanent coach who can handle the players well. And then probably make some signings. About Arsenal and City, I think I'll go with what coach said on Friday. It's going to go down to goal defense. And then I just hope Arsenal don't bother for it. And yes, I think that's all for now. And kudos to you guys. Get be yourself and everything you speak.
All right. Thank you so much, Baba Jamal. We appreciate your thoughts. I think that's it with the callers. Thank you so much to all the callers who did so to share their thoughts with us. Let's see if we have some messages on the WhatsApp console. I'll read them, take concluding thoughts from the guys, and then we are back here later tomorrow, same time, 2 to 5 p.m. Bernard Abekwatre and the guys will be here to run you through all the updates you missed from the games that will be kicking off later tonight. So tonight is Chelsea taking on United at Stamford Bridge, and later tomorrow Arsenal are up against Manchester City. Also at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it's Spurs 0, Brighton also 0. Spurs looking like the team that will take the lead. Guys, I'm sure you guys have been observing. Just concluding thoughts on that game, and then we check out of the studio. Let me start off with you, Kobe. Yeah, the Spurs Brighton game. Yeah,
well,
just concluding thoughts from it.
I don't expect Spurs to get anything out of this game. Looking at their performances so far, they haven't really been able to sustain a proper attack, and even when they do get into the box, you can see that their decision making has been quite poor. I think this season, if they don't want to get relegated in these last 5 or so games, they need to wake up. Because at this point in time, it's not really an issue of playing at home or playing away. I think the form has dipped so poorly, and it seems to only be getting. Look at this.
Whoa, how did that
not
enter?
It almost went in, just like that.
But Wahlberg, I think, was more relaxed. He didn't know the ball come to him.
It was even offside, so it's all right. But at least the ball should have gone into the net, and that was just another chance that Tottenham conceded. So I think Brighton will eventually get it right and score. I don't see Spurs really creating anything. At the beginning of the game, there was a bit. No, that wasn't offside, was it?
There was
Who would have stood?
I think with the player, is it Van de Ven playing him on side?
Yeah. Would have been a goal. I don't know how.
Okay.
What?
So the player tried to. I think so. Van de Ven, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to clear it, and then he hit the post. Hit Wahlberg too again.
Yeah.
Okay, hit him.
Yeah, very.
So it have been a very awkward.
He's even lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought he would crash into the post.
But anyway, I mean, as we are looking at this, I don't really expect Spurs to get any points out of there. I'm expecting Brighton to win this game. Eventually, they'll get it right. They'll get the goal, and then they'll be able to come away with the 3 points and focus on how they are going to try and get into a European spot this season.
That's some
For Spurs,
move from Brighton.
We'll see how the rest of the season goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's been very competitive. It's been a very competitive game. Typical English Premier League matchup. But I think Spurs have shown enough competitiveness and the right positive attitude that I've been seen in a while under them as they've gone through this long winless spell. And I think that's an improvement on what we've seen in previous weeks. And I have this strong belief that I see them being able to nick a win. I don't see it being a pretty win. I don't see it being a dominant win. But I do see Spurs being able to get all 3 points, nick a win, a close margin win over Brighton Hove Albion. And we're also watching Frankfurt's game against RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga.
Frankfurt equalized?
Yeah, they equalized.
Okay. But Jan Diomande, the Ivorian international, the winger for RB Leipzig, he scored a brilliant goal, and his market will definitely go up a little bit after that brilliant solo run and goal that he scored. And to wrap up, for the game that takes place later tonight, I don't see Chelsea beating Manchester United. It could be a draw or a win for Manchester United, but I don't see Chelsea winning it.
I see. Kwache.
The problem with games like this for Spurs is, I think, obviously, once you start the game well, it's all good being positive and starting the game well, but I think you need to score. And that's what they should probably be looking to us. Brighton have an opportunity here. But the longer Spurs go without scoring, the more they get nervous, and Brighton are not as nervous because they have something to play for, but they don't have as much to lose as Spurs.
Yeah.
So as well as Spurs, even though they look more settled, I think they need to start trying to convert the chance into opportunities. And he's looking at the way it sets up. I think, like we were saying, I think the Zerbi has almost not basic, but I think that base has to get. You get a solid back four. Your midfield is compact. He has a creative player in Javi Simons, and he has two traditional forwards in Solanke and Kolomwani. So the defense, the midfield protects the defense, and then you have Javi Simons to link the midfield to the attack. And hopefully things should change for them because of how, like you keep saying, the quality within their squad. But the longer things go without happening, that's when they start getting nervous. And I think if they can, the best way to get out to this position is to put in some confident performances, get some goals early, and then start thinking and start preparing for next season. But if you're still uncertain whether you'll be in the Premier League season or the Championship next season, it makes it difficult even from this moment to start planning properly for how to fully address the issue. But all in all, it's been an entertaining Premier League game. Should be the same for the game that happens later on. I still think that in these games, sometimes it gets very unpredictable. I've seen United come into these Chelsea United games with very poor form, and then at the end of the day, they find a way to get a result. So it depends on how motivated the players are for today's game.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Yao Jeminta, Manuel Angelo Kwache, and Kobe Obeng for joining me today to bring our listeners up to speed regarding today's games in the European space. I'll be back same time tomorrow, 2 to 5 p.m. 97.3, also on TV, Channel 1 TV, and on YouTube, City Sports GHA. Thanks to you out there who listened, texted into the show, and called as well. Technical support from Daniel Squashy, and also our man Edwin Kwakofi with all the display on YouTube for you. Catch us same time tomorrow, 2 to 5 p.m. The Republic of Football 97.3. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.